Hello to one and all. Yes, it's a watch-along. Yes, it's another opportunity for us to, of course, flaunt our cricket knowledge and tell you lots about the game we love on a Sunday. Because India, Australia can't get better than this. My name's Apni Sheikh. I've just come back, hungover AF. We'll talk about all of that in wedding shambles if Som allows me to. But talking about Som, I'll introduce you first, my friend. You're looking pretty dapper on a Sunday. Where are you going?
Office. कहाँ जाएंगे भाई?
Nice, sleek shirt. I think it's a new collection, I guess.
No, this is the oldest shirt in my wardrobe. I think this is like 6 years old now.
Well done. Tells me
I'm
how you feel.
happy that it still fits me.
Indeed. And here's a man who, of course, is Nikhil Popat, who's not wearing the blue because I think that was just a World Cup special. Nix, what's with the white? Just casual Sunday?
Yeah, casual Sunday, good numbers 2 and 7, both very special. But yeah, that's for later.
That's for later. Look, we're here to, of course, talk about the second T20 between India and Australia. And India are going to be batting first, something that they didn't do in the first game because, of course, Australia batted first there. And it'll be interesting to see if Ruturaj Gaikwad doesn't get after a duck. We'll talk about the game. We'll, of course, give you running commentary. And more importantly, we'll react to the IPL retention day. That smirk from Som tells it all. Som, your first thoughts about what's gone on so far, man?
I've been thoroughly enjoying. After World Cup, this is what we needed. Some random news taken too seriously. It turns out to be fake or false. I mean, not entirely fake, but yeah, not true. And then there's still some discussions going around that the trade deadline is not passed. There is still a week to go. So things that were reportedly supposed to happen might still happen. So, interesting times. Nothing better than all of this to forget the heartbreak of 19th November.
Absolutely. The one way to distract ourselves is to get straight into IPL gossip next. And it's almost...
Just to sum it up, I actually tweeted like a couple of days ago that for me, Indian cricket has just become an endless cycle of ICC heartbreaks to IPL auction news to IPL tournament interspersed with a lot of random bilaterals and people talking about certain players not being part of those squads.
They just know how to kind of, get to the Indian fan, and they've got to us, and we love the IPL. And some people even say that the IPL auction is more special than the IPL for them itself, which is debatable. But look, Knicks, MS Dhoni playing another year, man. I mean, that's the bottom line, essentially, right? Another big content year for us. I'm guessing there'll be fan cams, Dhoni, Tala, all of that. But what are the other big things that you can talk about? Before you say something, we are watching this on TV. So the first ball from Stoinis to Jaiswal. And I really want to see Jaiswal take him down because, look, that has gone viral in terms of that celebration, him laughing in front of Jaiswal's face. I don't know if you guys saw it. But Nick's coming back to that whole IPL retention thing. What's your first main couple of takeaways? Enlighten me.
Well, the first one is definitely what Som said there in terms of a certain captain staying somewhere. Again, we don't know for how long, but as long as it is,
we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it again.
Yeah, and there were a few surprising retentions and releases, which is something we'll talk about. But I think they saw the wrong-footed, right-handed, in-swinging menace, and they said, "Now we don't want anyone. All of you can go home. Just Siraj and Virat. That's it. We're job done." So very keen to see how they rebuild that. Because very surprised to see Harshal out. Even more surprised to see Hazelwood out. But again, Hazelwood, I still understand availability and all. So I think those were the first straightaway points. MS, I don't know the knee bit. We saw his video climbing down the stairs where he wasn't climbing. He was hobbling, or we'll have to find a new word there. So I don't know how many games he'll play. But इस season का 16 crore वाला बंदा तो बाहर चला गया. So they have enough amount to take care of that holes that they have. So let's see.
Basically, they need MS's brains a lot more than his knees.
Yeah. And it is how apt that very often we say, "Tera dimag tera ghutne mein gaya." I mean, it's just that it is.
Well, yeah, let's see what CSK do, and it'll be fun to, of course, bring you that auction. But what a shot that is for Gaikwad to get off the mark, and I think it'll trickle away for 4. It does.
What
That's
a
a touch and
what
go,
a
that one.
chase! What a chase in a in a completely irrelevant game.
It's crazy. By the way, yeah, we really don't care about this game. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the hardcore sentiment on the road as well, but honestly, after the World Cup, no one really cares. But we have the opportunity, like I said, to talk to you guys about cricket. So we're here for the next 3 hours. Please like this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And this space is as much as it is ours, is yours, because look, we're building a cricket.com community and we built it up quite well in the World Cup. We've got some new people, of course. So you guys have your say in the comments, and we'll just take some comments, guys, before I introduce our good old friend Gurkirat, who's also waiting for us. Superhero Rise is saying Hardik is Kylian Mbappe of cricket. Man, speaking of that, it's honestly like before the football season starts in June, you're kind of looking at all the transfer gossip. It feels like that right now. And if you guys know, you know. By the way, that could be out. No,
Oh,
it's not. Paris Aurora, good to see you. Reality check. Green is now officially better all-rounder than Hardik. Vasant Narayan going on to say, personally, I don't want Bumrah to play T20s and play ODIs and tests. Look, this is where you guys can literally pour your hearts out and tell us what you guys feel about everything. Are you guys still miserable as Indian fans? And Chaitanya Patil going on to say, no Gurkirat today. There is Gurkirat today. I'm using that as a little segue to introduce Gurkirat. Otherwise, he's known as a teddy bear man, apparently, according to a few
ये
on
भाई ये तो
cricket.com.
गुरकीरत की टिंडर प्रोफाइल चेक करना बंद करेगा प्लीज. और अगर चेक
No,
भी करता है तो क्या मत बता.
you know, the Startling thing is so like we kept getting a lot of those in the previews and reviews, the teddy bear thing. And then once I got annoyed. I was like, don't call him that, man. He's way better than the teddy bear. But speaking of the teddy bear, Gurkirat, how are you?
Good. Just keeping up with the cold, changing weather. So yeah, that cold's getting me. But apart from that, everything good. And I think this is probably the first time where I've really not reacted as much to IPL trades or whatever. Maybe it's because of the the alliance that I've had with one team that I think regardless of what happens, it's going to stay at the bottom. Or yeah, maybe you just feel that sometimes it's something that we were discussing in our WhatsApp group that probably fans have far more loyalty and alliance to a team than players. So sometimes you start questioning it. But yeah, good distraction. But yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Okay, I'm seeing your ex right now, and you went for would have liked Delhi to retain Phil Salt over Mitchell Marsh, but I guess Marsh's bowling from last season pipped the scales in his favor. Quote unquote, the great Gurkirat on Twitter. If you guys, of course, are not following him, what are you waiting for? Go follow him.
Where are
So
you doing the show from today?
comfortable, humble abode, man. Can't you see? Can't you
वो
He's
see?
back
अवनीश के
from the
पीछे
wedding.
like
Back
two
from
red
the wedding.
arrows.
Man,
You're back
shout out to
from
all
the
those
wedding.
people in the wedding. Gujarati and Mexican. Imagine that. Oh my God, they had a party. They had a treat. I did as well. But so I'm just coming back to this IPL chat. As a MIGT sort of grab the headlines with this whole Hardik Pandya thing. My question to you is, okay, fine. If Hardik goes, he goes. But who's then captaining GT? Is it Gill? Is it Rashid? Is it Kane?
I think Gill was the obvious pick in my opinion, and I think the one person who would have gained the most out of all of this was Shubman Gill, at least in my opinion. And now he must be someone who would be like, oh, there but not really there. So that's there. But overall, I don't know, man. I mean, this is like, uh, I mean, Gujarat, Mumbai, Hardik will have to live with this, even though this trade never happened. But there is definitely there were conversations, things. What I mean, if not for some contractual things or some maybe last minute money matters involving financial things, this trade would have happened. That's for sure. I mean, you cannot have people, just making it out of thin air. So, I mean, I'll just be, I'll be curious to know that where does this leave the player, the franchisee, the relationship between them? Because, like I said, they'll have to live with it. I mean, they would always know that their captain wanted to go to some other franchise or some other franchise wanted their captain, and even the management was okay with it. So, I mean, all of the videos or content that they produce talking about loyalty and whatnot, and everyone would know that, I mean, it's just a script, nothing more than that.
But that's a fascinating subplot in terms of football, right? And we see how many times where kind of even in this era, people want to stick to their clubs. But in cricket, Nick, talk to me about how this could affect a normal fan. Now, a Hardik Pandya fan, a diehard GT fan, is just seeing his captain go back to the former franchise. And it purely is a lucrative deal. Let's be honest. I know there's a sentiment of Hardik being with the MI camp before and all of that, and they see him as a perfect successor. Sorry, we're watching this and doing the watch along, so there will be a little dilly dallying. But Nick, how did you see this when the news broke? Hardik, did it shock you? Did you see it coming? Because I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you.
Well, you can remember the first question that I asked in the group, and it is probably where it eventually came down to that what all must go through under the bridge for this to happen,
Yeah,
invariably, if at all. So, again, as you gave a reference of football, I think it is something that cricket hasn't quite experienced as of now in terms of club loyalty and wanting to switch to a better place to win. Because again, uh, there are two sides to it. I felt it would have been it's an individual choice eventually, but I felt it wouldn't have been unfair on Hardik's part. Okay, thinking ke acha I want captaincy. I always wanted to lead MI. Now I've gotten a chance. I want to get this done. But at the same time, if I'm Gujarat, there are again two ways to look about it. One way is okay, if a guy wants to be not be here, he wants to do something for his own, great. But then there are things that you will have to set in stone because see, eventually you can have people chasing whatever they want to, but in a team sport, loyalty and trust is important. Now, again, you can give me many good football examples, but for you to build a culture, it is even more important for a new franchise to be able to show also that we are a tight unit and we'll have everybody on the play together. And that's what was said, right? In the 2 years, all you heard was, we want to build a good team environment. We are not looking to just collect a bunch of superstars like a certain team, and we want to go down this route. So you say all of that, and then this happens. It doesn't reflect well on the management as well, as Som said, if they were also fine with it. So I think there were a lot of things to take care of. Maybe as of now, they don't have to address it. But as Som said, I don't think this dies down here. This should and will have repercussions. And again, it necessarily does not mean in the bad way, because you will have to ensure that what a fan eventually feels about it. That if today there are fans who are made to believe, okay, he's going to Mumbai. So you are getting ready mentally, okay, if he's going to there, okay, Gill is my captain, then what do you do with Miller, Rashid, who is the leadership group and all of that. And now suddenly you're a Hardik is back. So then you still have the doubt. Okay, but why has it not happened? Because now you are even doubting the process. कि, अच्छा ये क्यों नहीं हुआ? Okay, so this means it can still happen till December 12th. So again, transparency isn't Indian cricket's forte. So I'll leave that aside. But it is something that I'm sure a lot of teams and fans will come to grips with in times to come in terms of individuals, teams, loyalties, and all of that.
So, oh, sorry, Gurkira, do you want to come in first?
Yeah, so I agree with Nikhil where he said that cricket's not experienced yet because cricket is still a sport which is driven more by emotion towards the national side than the club side. That is one. The other is yeah, like both Somesh and Nikhil are saying that this deal may not be dead yet. It could still happen, and there's also a soft power which is concerned with when you are playing for a franchisee like MI or CSK, regardless of whatever someone might want to say or disagree with. But you cannot deny the soft power that comes with while being a part of those two sides. If you do well as an MI captain, there are good chances that you can then translate into a India captain as well. Right now, Hardik's the T20I captain. Maybe he could become an ODI captain. So the soft power is also there. You essentially get behind, get one of the two, at least one one of the two biggest fan bases that are out there behind you. So there are people to sort of also back you when things go south. So there's a lot of other factors involved as well, with apart from just the money. I think beyond a point, I also think a lot of these cricketers have reached a stage where they can get the money they feel that they deserve through endorsements, through going to any other franchise. I mean, if it's just about the money, they could go to any other franchise as well. But it's also a lot about the soft power involved in the Indian cricketing circuit itself.
Yeah, so you wanted to kind of have your say as well?
No, so all of this just made if I have to draw an analogy, I'll just say that all of this seems like a dramatic Indian movie where there is an actor who wanted to marry someone he loves but couldn't, then settled for an arranged marriage. Then that lover comes back into his life, and now he wanted to break this marriage and go back to his lover, but ultimately decides that, oh no, this arranged marriage is working for me. I'm okay here. I don't want something, which didn't happen. So he just stayed there, and that's where this ended today. But let's see if there is a sequel.
कुछ कुछ
Oh,
होता है कि ending थोड़ी सी change कर दी एंड की कुछ
और
कुछ
और
होता है
he's
कि
और he's
Yeah.
gone हम दिल दे चुके सनम. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam is more apt. Yeah.
By the way, that's a banging shot from Jaiswal. Maxwell's come into the scene. And not to forget Zampa as well, both those World Cup winners. I think they were really hungover, I'm guessing, because I was literally following Maxwell's Insta story the day before the T20, and he posted like 3 in the morning. And I don't know if he deleted at that point in time, but it seemed like these boys were enjoying themselves. But let's see if he's rusty or not. India 19 for none, 2.2.
Oh,
That's turn.
there is enough turn in this pitch.
So again,
Yeah, but there's a lot of dew.
Australia have read the pitch well. They've swapped a pacer with a spinner.
Yeah, 100%.
see,
Just going back to that Hardik Pandya chat, because a lot of people, of course, are having they're saying the comments swept away from Jaiswal for 4 more.
Short.
So good intent once again from this boy. We'll talk about Jaiswal and everything, which of course we're seeing in front of our eyes, but we'll of course have
Exactly,
the
this
IPL
is the
as
point,
well.
right? I mean, people say
Yeah.
that this is not dead yet.
But do you think
for
he's a game changer in terms of the players, Som? Do you think he'll actually elevate Mumbai to make them winners again? Hardik Pandya, is he that decisive as a player?
I mean, see, the point is it will improve their chances to go to the playoffs. After that, it's anyone's day. So that is something that they can control. And of course, with Hardik there, they'll have a lot more balance, and they can use that overseas spot better for maybe a pacer or something like that, because they have enough batting options.
And on the flip
point
side,
is
you think
how that
GT will suffer?
I don't think GT will suffer, to be very honest. At least not on paper. But of course, I mean, things about captaincy and whatnot, that might still take time. On paper, I think MI had more to gain than GT for GT to suffer. So from all of this.
Okay, fair. Gurkirat, I just wanted to ask you about Delhi quickly, because lots of people in the comments also asking us to talk about RCB. I'll talk about RCB, but before that, Som, you just want to finish this.
No, I just want to go back to Chaitanya's comment, and maybe Nikhil and Gurkirat can chip in here. People are saying that deal might still happen, but how will it happen? Can Mumbai still release a few players after the deadline is done?
Yeah. So from what I heard, again, this is again hearing, so we'll have to confirm if we find a way to confirm that they can do a player-to-player trade with Gujarat, and this has to be before the auction till 12 December. In terms of the one person that who I think is now only likely to be part of it is Cam Green. Because only that will allow them the budget to swap that like that in terms of the amount to give and take. वो तो नहीं हो रहा. So this is why I said only Cam Green practically possible. So that is the only way it can happen, because they can't take a new player and then trade that person for Hardik Pandya. So if at all, it has to be from the current squad, and it has to be a player-to-player trade or something like that. So as of now, that's the only way out.
In
And
my
it's very
opinion,
much
this
possible-
is speculation that this is dead. I don't think any movement, we will see any movement now.
Yeah. Or it could be
Probably
next year directly.
That's a good point. Yeah, see, it could happen because Gujarat have also released Odian and Shanaka, so they don't have an all-rounder as such. If that happens, but yeah, let's see how it goes. But yeah, Avnish, you wanted to ask me something about Delhi, right?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, where do you sit with these retentions generally? And do you think it's sometimes just a gimmick? Like, I know RCB have also released a couple of players, but I think they'll buy them back short as well. Are you happy with Delhi's business?
Just to talk about this game, I saw a few probable 11s before the series started, and people actually forget that Jaiswal is there. I mean, people had Kishan and Gaikwad as their openers, and I was like, dude, I mean, what? Raat gayi, baat gayi, as a treatment mat do, bhai.
Bro, Jaiswal's already a lock-in for me in terms of that T20 World Cup. No matter what happens from now till then, I think he's a lock-in. Just
No,
for
he,
sure.
he should be, because I don't see so far this being a very easy pitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Sean, that is toys, bro. Maza aa gaya Jaiswal.
So you know, I've noticed this something with him which I don't know is true for other batters or not, but he tends to generate a lot of power behind his shots while playing behind square, which is
Yeah,
not always the case with a lot of batters because you are mostly relying on timing.
yeah.
But I've seen him generate decent enough power even on slower ones when he has to play behind square, which I'm not sure is always the easiest thing to do.
Did he do
Maybe
that a
Because
lot in that innings in
because he
Mumbai?
plays late.
no,
Ah, yeah.
playing late. Oh, sure.
Oh, wow. Love it, bro. Love it. And
No,
this is in
I
the,
think see,
this is Sean Abbott. I would have loved it if it was Marcus Stoinis. Sorry, good God, go on.
No, I love it. It's Sean Abbott. I mean, you guys know what I feel about him, but I can't say it out loud.
because he
Okay.
might just end up taking a wicket.
अभी मैंने इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली बोला ना कि दिस डील इज डेड, मैं वैसे ही सोच रहा था कि मैंने अभी इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली बोला ना, कल ही पता चलेगा कि कैम ग्रीन और उसका स्वैप हो गया है.
But yeah, see, coming to Avnish's question about Delhi, see, it was clear that they will end up releasing a lot of players. I personally feel that they could have retained Salt over Marsh because Marsh has not done much with the bat in the 2 seasons. Probably, I think 2 or 3 50s, and I don't know how many.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
it's
this
short.
guy's on fire. 50 for India, boys. 52 for none, 3.5. That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
actually ridiculous. Yeah, go on.
I'm
So
batting.
so there is that, but otherwise, see, if Kotla plays like how it played during the World Cup, then you might feel that maybe releasing Powell wasn't the greatest of ideas. But apart from that, Manish Pandey being released, Chetan Sakaria being released, Russo being released is 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 on cue because you really can't have Russo, Marsh, Salt, all of them in the squad. Nagarkoti being released is purely, I think, down to the injury and the fitness concerns that he has had over the years. I am a little surprised that they let go of Aman Khan because he was specially traded in, and in that game that they won against Gujarat, he scored a decent 50. So there is that. Uh, Surprised that they haven't released Praveen Dubey and this guy Lalit Yadav because they've not really used Praveen Dubey.
How do you release Lalit Yadav? क्या बोल रहे हो मतलब?
He's the he's one of the favorites, but he hasn't been chipping in, right?
उससे फर्क ही
So
नहीं पड़ता है भाई. People have saved people for years without having using them. So Lalit Yadav नहीं,
so
sorry.
I genuinely thought that they'll probably release one of Praveen Dubey or Vicky Oswal because I don't see both of them ever playing together. I see only one of them. I would have probably hedged my bets on Vicky Oswal from what I saw in that under 19 World Cup. I felt he has a lovely loop, has lovely control on his flight. Praveen Dubey, I don't know what's the reasoning behind it, and I don't really have a lot of hopes from the auction either.
Yeah, but 11 players released, but at least for some of them personally, they like Sarfraz Khan, for example, or Manish Pandey. I think they can add value to some other franchises.
Sure.
Oh, what a shot that is! And Zampa is welcome back into.
भाई इंडिया स्टॉप ऑर्डर हिटिंग स्पिन इज मतलब मैं तो भूल ही गया
It's
था
too
कि ऐसा
good.
भी होता है क्या.
It is too good. By the way, let's also have little fun and games between us. 56 for none, 4.1. What is your power play score, guys? Quickly, 11 balls,
72 for 1.
72 for one. I'm saying 78 for none.
75 for 0.
Okay,
I
so
was thinking 70 for 1, but ठीक है देखते हैं.
okay, done. Keep your comments coming through, of course. And 44
So
people
just to
on a Sunday. One sec, you guys are watching. Please like, of course. Please like for Somesh's old but new shirt, for Gurkirat's Delhi runs, and for Nick's in-house casual attire right now. But so
There is
talk.
no rant.
I just
Yeah,
want to
go.
finish up chat about Delhi. Early call. They might have an eye out for Shah Rukh Khan because that's one spot that is available.
I
But
think
of course, the CSK guys want that spot to be there. But CSK का तो मुझे पता है कि they will make the next Ambati Raidu out of Manish Pandey. So that's वो तो पक्का ही है. That's
no, but
something that.
let me just ask you guys something. All these retentions are being done knowing that there won't be any changes in the backroom stuff, right? Going into that tournament. Because I'm guessing Ponting will still be there, right, as coach.
It's too early for that, but yeah, with regards to Ponting
Then,
and
then if you're shaping up your team, shouldn't you have it? Like, I'm guessing RCB, okay, fine. Right now it's Flower and all of that. I understand.
Pause. Hardik Pandya traded to Mumbai Indians. Confirmed.
Oh my word. Do we have some breaking news in cricket.com or what? Hardik Pandya
चलो
to
सु
Mumbai
तुम
Indians.
देख रहे हो ना, मतलब अगले दिन का भी वेट नहीं करना पड़ा, मैंने जो बोला कि ये तो डन डील है. So
100%. Can we confirm that news, Nikhil Popat?
Yeah, we have Vastav also, I think, saying the same thing. I think in our internal group. So
And is it a straight swap with Cam Green? I mean, can
that
we
I'm not
understand?
sure of. I'm looking for more details.
but what
So what is
nonsense
your,
is this, yaar? What
so
मतलब
what is your best
what is going?
guess in terms of that contract? What is the clause? Do you think it's a straight swap? How do you think that's going to pan out?
भाई straight swap का पैसे लाने पड़ेंगे. They have to release someone now. They have to change, go back and make a call to Cam Green कि sorry sir, we have traded you.
No, I'm sure they would have got some funds releasing Archer and all the
but
other guys.
I'm very surprised that after the teams have given the list to broadcasters after, because Gujarat has also posted it on their Instagram, and then this is happening. I mean, at some point of time, somewhere you have to question the IPL governing council, that
The system itself,
do
yeah.
the deadlines even count for something? The trade
Yeah.
could go ahead and everything, but if you're showing it to the broadcaster, doing everything, posting on social media, and then it's happening, then there is definitely some gap in communication
So
somewhere.
forget about Bollywood. Now the only analogy that I can draw is Indian politics. This is like that Maharashtra election of 2019 कि अभी CM बन गया है, is
चाणक्य
taken.
नीति.
उसके बाद resort politics हो गई, 2 घंटे बाद CM change, party change, they've swapped. This is similar. I mean, this is like
You
Indian politics
Somesh,
playing out.
You also look like a little like Chanakya
चलेगा भाई.
in Indian politics context.
But guys, if this is a straight cash deal, that means Gujarat in the auction will have like 49 crores to spend because they already have 34 crores as things stand. And then if Hardik goes for a 15 crore thing, that's man, they can buy two really good players out of this deal. I hope you know that.
See, Avni, it doesn't matter. No team has ever no team has ever overcome their weaknesses or filled. I mean, have never made a very drastic difference from these mini auctions. And this is where I'm just waiting to come to the RCB chat. I'm just trying to get my head around of what exactly are they trying to do. Because
I'll tell you where I sit on that.
honestly speaking, in these mini auctions, more often than not, you'd find players जो किसी को नहीं चाहिए.
Agreed.
But of course, because you have to fill certain spots, you have to see कि भाई हाँ चलो ले लेते हैं because he's a fast bowling all-rounder, he's a spinner, he's an anchor कि चलो एक जगह भर लेंगे. But you're never going to get cream in mini auctions, definitely not in a good price value.
And
so
just to add, the teams which needs players, they don't come well prepared. Because you were talking about Delhi trying to get Shah Rukh Khan. I'm fairly certain that Delhi will go after Josh Inglis. Fairly certain.
Yeah.
But it is not a bad move actually. I would actually love them to go for Josh Inglis because he's the guy who can be better used at 4 and 5 as compared to Robin Powell or Mishmash batting in the middle overs. So वहाँ से देखा जाए तो he's a very good backup also to Pant. If at
But
all
if
you
you
want
think
to go
about
down
it,
that
Delhi
route.
actually need two batters, one overseas, one
Yeah,
Indian,
exactly.
both for the middle
Yeah,
order.
and English would not be a bad ploy given that he's played spin well and that Kotla wicket, if it's good enough also, it should really suit him as well.
Yeah, Darshan, meanwhile, saying really expect DC to go for Travis Head. They might, man. Darshan, let us know as well who you guys will probably be fancying in the auction. Short Jaiswal, another boundary. India 67 for none, 5.2. So all our predictions are still within touching distance. Keep your comments coming through. Of course, I keep saying this is your space, so do not fret. Ask us anything. Naren going on to say, at least if a player can't remain loyal after 2 seasons, you franchise don't deserve them. Player has the right to demand more money. But yeah, at least for some time persist. I agree with that. And sometimes, it makes you think how much player power exists generally, even in football, but even in cricket. Like, do you think Hardik has called the shots with this move? Or do you think it's MI laying down the
Do you think all
gauntlet?
of this can happen without taking Hardik into loop? And to think about going back the years when Jadeja was banned for something similar. I mean, I don't know. It's
So basically, players can just go wherever they want to right now. So now KL wants to leave LSG. He can just choose and be like, yeah, I want to go to Bangalore. Is it as simple as that?
I think if Jadeja, what he did in 2010, if he does the same today, nothing will happen. I
Yeah,
think a lot of rule enforcement is down to the stature of the player.
player. Mm.
If someone like Abhishek Sharma or like, I don't want to particularly say Abhishek Sharma, I'm just trying to draw an analogy that
Yeah,
if the player is someone who's not as established or is not yet a big gun, if a player of that stature tries something, you still might see that ban coming into the play. But because these players are now superstars and they will get the audiences, these bans can't happen because you will also have broadcasters on your neck that who will come and watch these games. So if Jadeja of 2010 tries something like that today, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. And Mihir, yeah, we of course broke the news before them, whoever that channel is, by the way. But look, the fact of the matter
People
remains,
people
that's a
people
big
need to
breaking news.
rarely underestimate Bastav's connections.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%, man. Basta Zindabad. By the way, like this particular video, because if you think Hardik Pandya moving back to MI is mind blowing, you definitely want to like this. Or if you think Yashasvi Jaiswal just blinking right now and going to 53 of 24 is just ridiculous. 76 for none, and still 2 balls left in the power play. I think all our predictions are pretty much. I think I'm winning this. I said 78 for none, hopefully 2 more singles. But so if you're Hardik Pandya right now, you're just saying, yeah, theek hai, bro. Gujarat, I won with them. Let me go back to MI. Ambanis will know how to take care of me. It's as simple as that.
I don't think it's. I mean, again, the noise around it has not ended because now would Hardik want to be the captain? I mean, he would definitely would.
100%,
So,
right?
I
They're
mean,
bringing him back to captain. I don't think Rohit is going to captain anymore.
but then will Rohit play under Hardik's captaincy?
Yeah. Because I see the MI family like the CSK family in the sense they want to have the baton
Not
handed
true.
over.
I mean, it can still happen. But then the point is, this is not, this entire saga is not dead. We are yet to hear a lot of different things because they can't. They don't really have the money to just shell out 15 crores from their purse. They really need to release a couple of players to make
वो
room
तो
even
हो
after last year.
जाएगा भाई वो तो हो जाएगा they'll get a couple of play even if they don't release Green they can still shell out 15 crores by releasing some other players. I know they'll have to really go back in the auction and then fill in those voids.
Oh
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
there's a wicket.
but still,
Nathan Ellis, slow cutter,
but
and
job done.
Jaiswal goes. Brilliant.
Opener's job done very well.
And 53 for Jaiswal. 51 if you're watching, please like, of course, and want to predict the score for the first innings. Please do that in the comments as well. I think it's definitely going to be 220 plus, but let's see what the boys feel. Next, thanks so much for breaking that Hardik Pandya news. And all you guys watching this right now, tell your friends we're going to be talking about the IPL attention. I'm going to be talking about RCB in just a bit, but I still want to understand what this deal is all about. We'll of course get more clarity on it. I think Bastard's letting loose in the WhatsApp group chats as well. So if we have any more information, we'll definitely tell you. But meanwhile, sync in your streams with us. We're watching this in Sports 18 and not Geo because that is a shocking app. Sorry, I know I shouldn't be calling out names, but we have to call it for what it is. And Gurkirat, just should I just talk about RCB yet, or should we still harp upon this Hardik thing? Because if we even have to try to make sense of it, do you think Hardik Pandya just walks back into that Mumbai 11 as a player? Do you think he'll be doing what he did for GT, bat one down and open the bowling? And he's on mute. It's normal these days.
Don't think he'll bat one down there, but yeah, will be a part of the 11 for sure. I mean,
And then
how can
you
we
see
even have
Rohit, of
that
course,
on
playing
the-
under him, right?
That should happen ideally
Bro,
because
they're
why would
not going to spend 15 crores for Hardik Pandya, the player. They're going to spend 15 crores for Hardik Pandya, the captain,
Yeah, that's
yes.
what I'm saying. It should happen, even though I still think that Hardik has a long way to go as a captain itself. But from Hardik's point of view, if he's not going to be made the captain, I don't think he would have considered moving.
Mm.
But do you think it's actually a good time for him to move franchises right now, Nick? Because he's going to be obviously captaining us in the T20 World Cup for sure, right? That's at least good or no?
Well, you would assume so, but again, we will never hear until we hear. uh, to me, I think this is the best chance for Gujarat to start on a very good slate. I don't know why I felt it when I heard it as well. This could be a very good chance for Gill or somebody else. This story, I feel, will look down at this after 5-10 years, thinking, had Hardik not gone here, this guy wouldn't have gotten a chance for Gujarat. And look how his career has changed. That is how I get that visualization or manifesting that for some of the Indian guys who will be part of Gujarat, because as that I think it was Narain or Paras who said that if after 2 seasons you are not able to take care of a captain, I think you need a lot more due diligence to be done from the franchise angle as well, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the face. He's a local boy also. It's not that he's just another guy. He's a premier all-rounder of the country. You got him because you wanted a captaincy. You gave him that. Everything has happened as per that in terms of the coaches and everything. And then you also go on and say that I didn't want captaincy and all of that. This puts a lot of things into perspective, that we should not believe everything that we hear. A lot of it is hogwash. You say it because it sounds good at that point of time, but all these are good examples that what we hear is may not always be what is true. So it is lessons for us also, because we at times go by words of people. But I really feel like Gujarat, this is the best time to get together and really change their fortunes. Because if I am a part of Gujarat setup, as Som said, there is nothing in your control here. A player wants to go, yes, fairly well, you'll want him to go. But then that guy is your captain. That guy is the image of the franchise at this point of time. So you're not just losing a guy, you're losing the image of the player. And 2023 is good enough time to think about brand, loyalty, and all of it together. So uh, for Mumbai, I wouldn't say it's an easier thing to do to lead Mumbai. Being Hardik always wanted it. So I'm not going to go against him and say, okay, it's good to chase your ambitions. May not have been the best way to go about it, but again, he's looking at the bigger picture. So hopefully Gujarat will as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
indeed.
Just
Akhil,
one thing to add here
yeah, going on.
to
Yeah, go.
sort of round up the GT chat. I think there is a mistake that GT would want to avoid now. That mistake can be making an overseas player a captain. They might think that we can make Kane Williamson the captain because he has that profile. But I mean, from what we've seen over the years, that has always turned out to be not for the better. You might think that Gill is still young, he has something to learn. But I think, I mean, because of the involvement of Ashish Nehra and the support side that they have, because we have seen even Hardik at the toss that he doesn't even know the 11 is. Maybe he's faking it. He knows it, he's faking it, whatever it is. But if the management is involved so much that they are actually deciding the 11s and all, then might as well just give Gill the go, so that they don't fall into that trap of making an overseas player the captain, where he becomes a liability for them to be included in the 11 all the time. Because as I see it, even after Hardik not being there, I don't see Kane Williamson in Gujarat's first 11, at least from my
Yeah,
perspective.
and it's always a problem to just keep your foreign players as captain. We've debated that multiple times, even in previous cricket.com shows as well. Pulkit going on to say, wouldn't you want Rashid to be captain too? I would probably see it, only make an exception in Rashid's case, but I don't know how captaincy in Rashid
But
would.
why? I mean, he's your frontline bowler. Lot to
Yeah,
think
why
of,
would you
and
want
lot
to
to
burden
think
him?
about his own role itself. I mean, why would you burden him with all of that?
Correct. And who knows, it could be a perfect litmus test for Shubman Gill indeed.
There are
81 for one, by the way.
also rumors. Hopefully, Vastav can confirm them about Cameron Green going to RCB, which is what is
Yeah,
allowing them the money to make that deal.
yeah, which is crazy because they need RCB's cash to, of course, buy back Hardik Pandya. How life works that way. We'll speak about RCB right now, and we'll take the comments. I apologize because I know our chats have been going all helter skelter, but bear with us. And of course, with the Indian blokes batting the way they are, it's hard to not talk about that as well, because we're primarily there for the watch along. 85 for 1, 7.1. And all you lovely people like this particular video, if you just joined us, and we'll talk about lots of things IPL related, RCB right now. Guys, let me just give you my 2 pence about what I feel about the players that they've released. So Hasaranga gone, Harshad Patel gone, Hazelwood gone, Finn Allen, Bracewell, Willie, Parnell, Sonu Yadav, Avinash Singh, Siddharth Kaul, and Kedar Jadhav. The last three names, sorry, was always on my list. Maybe Avinash Singh I would have kept, and they'll buy back. Obviously, some players I think they'll definitely buy back or go for them at least. That I would want them to see if they can go back for Michael Bracewell, because they genuinely think he's a good player to have on a bench, and he's like a horses for courses guy. I think they played him in Jaipur. Was it last time we bundled
He
him out?
played. He played the last game also. He played the last game also of the season. I think they've just preferred to keep Will Jacks over Bracewell because
Yeah,
they've retained. So I think they probably thought that you can only, because they also have Maxwell. So how many players of the same type can you keep, right?
agreed.
Because there's Will Jacks is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
I know
Bracewell is
what
not.
Nikhil wants to say. Nikhil वो joke पुराना हो गया भाई. आगे बढ़ो अब.
वो joke है ही नहीं. I'll wait for something. I'm just confirming
So
something.
my point is, Avnish was saying that they'll buy back a certain players. Why would you buy back players who already you bought at base price?
At a cheaper price, I'm saying. At a cheaper
base
price.
price से और cheap क्या होगा?
Just
नहीं,
like they did with Yuvraj.
Avinash Singh was
Just
not
like they did with Yuvraj.
bought on base price. Avinash
How
Singh
much?
is
कितना shell किया था भाई उसके लिए?
नहीं, so he was one of the scouting products. There were a couple of other teams also vying for him. So I don't
Okay.
think he was bought at base price.
60 lakhs is what Vikas says. तो कितना ही फर्क पड़ेगा? 10-20 लाख का फर्क पड़ेगा. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि
But please tell me what about Cam Green at 4? Avnish, please take over.
Cam Green at 4. So look, if we have to be entirely honest, Maxwell, Duplessis picked themselves. Then you look at the two other international spots. There was honestly a time where I felt RCB are just playing Hasaranga because they burnt the bridge of paying 10.75 crores on him. So it was like almost a pressure saying you have to play him, you have to play him, you have to play him. I know Parnell came in, did a job for us, and it talks about also always having a foreign quick, man. I know I keep going back Stain and Stark. Hazelwood did the job for us. I would want one foreign quick, and I don't know if Cam Green can do that job. It'll be great. It'll be great. I wouldn't lie. On paper right now, in my head, I'm thinking about that batting lineup, but it'll be all top four. Righties, Kohli, Faf, I'm guessing Rajat Patidar.
What are the bets of Shahbaz Ahmed coming in and taking a 4-5 then?
Oh my word. Oh my word. And even this Mayank Nagar guy, I saw him live because I watched the SRH RCB game. I genuinely think he's pretty much in the same boat as Shahbaz Ahmed. But I'm guessing the way Lara has spoken about him in few SRH interviews and stuff, hopefully we're getting a guy who, I don't know, is not just a Virat Kohli fan, because if you look at his Instagram handle, you'll think he's a Kohli fanboy. Maybe that's why
that's why he's saying, no, now I understand.
looks like Kohli as well. But RCB guys, I don't know. It was sickening to see us not retain Chahal, go for Hasaranga. We wanted a leg spinner who could do both. We missed that big time. I feel we should really get someone who is a lock in terms of bowling option. Number one, like how you have your Maxine Faf, sure. One crazy bowler I'd want to go for. I'd probably go for Gerald Coetzee. I know it might sound ridiculous. I think Faf can get the best out of him. Andy Flower's there. Andy Flower will probably hone these guys in. I know Will Jacks. Nix is laughing his ass off, and I really want to know what am I sounding like a terrible dramatic fan?
No, not you. I'm just thinking of conversation between Hardik, Mumbai, Gujarat. It's a movie scene, and then RC like Rajpal इधर आ तो क्या फिर लेके जा तो बैग लेके जा उनको बैग दे. I mean, there is no way anybody saw RCB coming into picture. A great. I mean, Akshay's reaction also got to me in terms of his reaction on the group. In terms of Cameron Green, कहाँ से आया? मतलब of all plans. But yeah, I think. But as you said, yeah,
Also, I don't think Cameron Green solves any of the major problems that RCB have, because what you need is a batter who can come good against spin the day Maxwell doesn't come off. And Green, while he's shown sort of some restraint to not get out to spin, but I don't think in T20s it is enough. You need to be able to at least do something against spin. And the worst thing that could happen for RCB, say Green comes in and he's playing in the 11, is you have Virat and Green stuck in the middle overs versus two left arm spinners.
वो
You know,
सब कुछ भी नहीं होगा पाजी, and
you
all
could
this
just
thing
picture
with
that right now.
bro.
I
What
think what I feel
you
is
see how Rajat Patidar will do the heavy lifting this time again.
No.
Sorry, so
Yeah, but if he's dismissed in the power play along with Faf, then what?
अरे
I feel
cameo हो
Green
जाएगा
actually
नीचे
works
से.
well on the venue. Because for Chinnaswamy, I don't think it will matter if Green is stuck with a left-arm spinner, because I think at
He'll
Chinnaswamy,
find a way.
I think Green is a good addition for RCB. For Chinnaswamy, it's the away game that they need to worry
Away
about.
games, correct.
More
correct.
importantly, I mean, I just don't see them having a potent bowling attack, to be very honest. I
Exactly.
mean, where will that gap?
That's what I'm
My
saying.
point
It's not
with
coming.
Green was exactly that only. कि तुमने इतना पैसा Green के लिए दिया है, but he is not even a part of your solution.
Yeah,
तुमको
even
घर
if
पे
you
batting
if you release Asaranga, I mean, what is the quality spinner that will be available in the auction for you to buy?
And that's what I was going to essentially. I was just like trying to think of
They'll
names.
probably have to go for Aryan Dutt.
No, bro, ऐसे मत बोलो. I
Yeah,
mean,
but Aryan Dutt is good.
no, because I'm trying to think of
Arey,
it.
of
Even
course.
quality, who like right now, guys. If you guys were part of that RCB auction table, which pacers, international pacers, would you put your money forward to? Would you probably throw your money on Gerald Coetzee? Would you probably throw your money on, I don't know who's available in the auction right now, Madhushanka?
Yeah,
But that's
Madhushanka
too
is
much. Those players are squad players. They're not like guaranteed starters. You know what I mean?
no, but they can be, right? I don't think Madhushanka is a guy that you can say okay, he's not a starter. I think if he gets in, he's definitely starts. Which is why I find the release of Hazelwood very very surprising. Harshal Patel, I can still understand that they are
But even
taking
the
a risk. which is-
Hazelwood one, apparently for non-cricketing reasons, whatever that means.
Yeah, so maybe so the only option there is non-cricketing. Matlab, I don't think is available. Maybe that might be
Yeah.
the only reason for him to not be part of it. But
Yeah, but even if he's not available for one season, I mean, why would you release him?
because 25 में तो वैसे भी मेगा ऑक्शन होना है ना, तो फिर क्या ही करेंगे आप रख के.
But
So
ये भी
is it
बहुत
even
बड़ा-
confirmed
ये
that
भी
mega
बहुत
auction
बड़ा
will happen?
assumption है कि मेगा ऑक्शन होना है कि नहीं होना.
No, but
अभी
that's
तो
the
देखो
thing. I
भाई,
feel,
They've
feel like
still
with
retained-
Hazelwood guys, they shouldn't have released him right now, because you look at that RCB bowling attack right now on paper and it's bang average. Siraj, we hope he comes good, but that never really comes to fruition.
Reece Topley and Siraj and Inshallah. And you
But
would
even
really
Reece
want to
Topley, why
pray,
he's-
you would really want to pray to whichever god you know that Reece Topley plays all the games.
But Reece Topley like reminds me of this footballer called Luis Saha, always injured. You love him to bits, but he gets injured in the most crucial bits. And how much could you really invest in that? Even Vishak, I think, is a project 100% they should invest in. Even with Andy Flower coming in, he's your only local player. Get the lads some sort of commitment in long rope, like what CSK and MI have done with all these players. I'm pretty sure that pacer for MI who did really well last year, the what's that guy's name here?
Madhwal, Akash Madhwal.
Akash Madhwal.
Yeah, Akash, but like Mumbai will hone him for the next 3-4 years. I want RCB to start doing that with the current players. Like I want Patidar to be there, part of our plans for the next 4-5 years. I want obviously Siraj to be there no matter what. It's easier to like throw these players out. I'm more pissed off the fact that they've retained DK and Anuj Raut. Like I genuinely thought, I don't know. I didn't want those two.
I mean, that guy
nice
came in as
memories,
impact
but
player.
time to say goodbye types.
I mean, he was an impact player coming in while batting late. So definitely they trust him, which is fine. See, there are some people who don't click immediately because they are not used well. But if you've seen the spark, so to say, you will eventually find a better way to use them. So let's hope that's also the case with Anuj, because he will get good enough chances. But as Home said, very interested to see how RCB build their bowling attack, if it's an attack or just 4 or 5 all-rounders together.
No, because with Anuj Rawat, I mean, I know what he did, guys, but rarely does he give you that conviction, because it's about where you use him in that 11 as well, because Virat and Faf are always going to open, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then it just makes you think, because I like the fact that they've retained Suyash Prabhudesai, Mahipal Lamrur, even though these guys have just had a few chances here and there. Hopefully this season we can see the best out of those whenever they're called upon. But that bowling, like you said, Som, is just super worrying. Yeah. I mean, it always is for an RCB fan. But like, who would you go for? If you actually have to like think about it right now, would you go for a quality Indian spinner? No one's there. Would you go for a foreign pacer? Maybe it's an unknown element. Like, how will Madhushanka take to an IPL? Because IPL also is that kind of beast that it'll eat
I
you
think
up.
the only thing left for you guys is to temper your expectations. And
But ऐसे नहीं होगा आरसीबी के साथ
except
भाई.
that
I have
you are the Haas in Formula One who are looking for a mid-table finish, so that you are.
no. I'll give you three names that you can potentially target and still do well. One is you go after Gerald Kodze, okay? Get him, give him a good run, play him in the middle overs. That job can be well taken care of. You have Dilshan Madhushanka who you can go for as well. New ball value, old ball value. That's also a very good option. You have spinner पे भी आ रहा हूँ. Indian pacer चाहिए तो Karthik Tyagi is released. Break the bank on him rather than breaking a bank on an overseas Aussie or England all-rounder. Break the bank on Karthik Tyagi, a longer term prospect for you. So those are still three decent options for you to have. With the ball, see, I'll not go down the distance and say, okay, you will not need a spinner. There is a merit, but you already have Maxwell. तुमको अगर लेग स्पिनर नहीं मिल रहा तो छोड़ दो. Just look for 4 very good options with the ball who can do the job for you. There is no rule that you definitely need one option. If you get a great option, nothing like it. But there is Adil Rashid who's out there who's released. Akil Hasan को लेने का जरूरत नहीं है. मतलब you will not need such kind of an option because you don't anyways use them.
Practice के लिए कहाँ आएगा?
Net उससे क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है यार. पर
Yeah,
again,
if
at least there are options for RCB to go to. तो वो तो है.
if at all they want to go for a left arm spinner, there's also another option which is Vela Lage. If at all they want to go for it.
They could go for
But-
Rachin Ravindra also. Rachin
But-
Ravindra is not a bad option.
But again,
then it is overseas.
those kind of cricketers, do you think they actually fit straight away? Maybe a Gerald Coetzee, yes, but the others, I don't know, a little iffy.
I think
No,
Coetzee
so-
fits. Coetzee, Madhushanka and Karthik Tyagi, they all fit the bill.
Avnish,
They're
you guys
all
can
good
go for
prospects.
Endemar as well.
No chance, here, man. Because
By
Avnish
the way,
Avnish पूछ रहा है.
I just want to ask this question. I've even asked it in the chat. I hope Anirudh gets to see this and answers this. How many times has Kishan played first 10-11 balls for a strike rate of around 100, sometimes less or 110?
Every time.
really,
Very slow starter usually. Yeah.
that's
And today also he's struggling. He's struggling to time it, trying too hard.
But this is
So
this
this
is the
is-
worst nightmare playing out in real life, right? I mean, after a good power play, we have two batters. I mean, maybe both of them are little limited. sort
Yeah,
of
but
stuck.
again, it's not down to lack of intent.
Yeah,
but
क्योंकि Kishan is
Then it's
trying.
down to-
और उससे-
then it's even worse. It's down to lack of skill.
Indeed. By the way, just going back to the
We've-
RCB
we've-
chat. Sorry, because lots of people are letting their comments flow. And I know we are, of course, waiting for a drinks break to resume or whatever, but like it's
Yeah.
102 for 1. Keep your comments coming through. Just on that RCB chat, guys, because lots of people are saying things like, I don't know, who they could potentially sign.
Shardul, yes.
I also
Okay.
feel Rukirat, Will Jacks, because he didn't play for the franchise, obviously, it feels like a new transfer. So you're almost indebted to play him with Maxwell and Faf. So 3 gone. And then you need one more.
No, I don't think it would be like that. That they'll be sort of pressure to play him or feel like they have to play him for sure. You don't
At least
expect
3
that
or 4 games, he'll give him a go now.
No, but it will eventually come down to who the other 4 foreigner or overseas players are. If they are a better fit, then you'll play them. Because
But-
Michael Blaisdell was
Because
there
Will
last time.
Jacks is kind of the Maxwell mold. Do you think they'll play both of them?
No, I don't see that happening. I think if Reece Topley's fit, he takes one of the spots. So 3 spots are sort of locked with Maxwell, Faf, and Reece Topley. My bigger worry for RCB, which is something that I said after the auction last season as well, that they now have too many players on the wrong side of 30s. So they will have to keep one eye on who all is the future for each and every position, because Faf is 39 now. Yes, he's going strong and he's doing well, but at that kind of age, from whatever I've seen is that when the performances have started to dip, it's very difficult to then raise them up, because it is mostly a function of your reflexes slowing down. So far so good for Faf, and I mean he deserved to be retained, but my point is that do you have players to to replace these guys, because Maxwell's also what, 34, 35, if I'm not wrong. So they just have a core which is now on the wrong side of 30s. So
But
if
that
there is
greater
no mega
transition will
option,
happen in 2-3 years, bro. Because
that
you're
that
spot
is,
on. You're spot on. I
I'm
just
saying
generally feel like
that
whoever
could be
has
a
to take
difficult
over the
thing.
battle.
That could be a difficult thing if there is no mega auction. So you'll have to
Yeah.
keep looking at the mini auctions and build that way.
Yeah, indeed. Chachan saying, why are we all discussing RCB? We are discussing all teams, bro. There's no gender over here. I don't know why you keep gaslighting us, but give this video a like at least, please, Chachan, because
By the way,
Liverpool.
I got a feel for Tilak Verma. I mean, all these T20Is should have been a platform given to him to prepare himself for the World Cup, and we are just wasting them on just focusing on individual players and not the roles. I mean, what's the point?
Do you feel like Tilak should have batted one down instead of Kishan?
Of course,
Of course, right? But
of course, yeah.
I don't even know why they have to play Kishan. Honestly, I don't know
That's
why they
what.
play.
That's the point. If you want to keep her play him at a proper position, either make up spot for him in an opening, and don't play Gaikwad. I mean, why are you forced to play Gaikwad?
That's where it is crazy that way.
No,
By the
and
way,
see, if I had a preference, I would still play Gaikwad over Kishan. I
That's fine. Then
definitely
play
feel,
Jitesh Sharma. Then play players
yeah,
on
yeah,
their positions,
yeah.
right?
I'd rather play a Jitesh or
I
Samson,
mean, this
because
is again, this is Indian cricket at its best. I mean, failing to learn from past mistakes, just focusing on certain individuals rather than working on what is best for the team.
but right
this
now
is
in this particular team, how many are traveling to the West Indies for sure? For sure. I think Jaiswal and Tilak from this squad,
Sky.
I won't say Tilak
and
for sure
Arshdeep.
because
And Arshdeep. I'll take the Arshdeep though.
clearly demoted for God knows what reason.
Whom?
I mean, I won't be very certain on Tilak right now because he's been now demoted for no reason. He's asked to come at 5 and just bash from ball 1 when others are just taking their good sweet time to get themselves in. What's the point?
No, Tilak will go, yeah. Tilak will go. I think 100%. They would
I think
like
he cannot afford to have a bad IPL season. He'd need a good IPL season.
no, even if he has like a Sappa one, I think he'll still go.
See, that cannot afford to have a bad IPL season is true for a lot of fringe players, because there is absolutely no cricket happening post the IPL before the World T20,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, see, what I think is that the clarity on the seniors, will they be available or not be available, needs to come out really soon, because
Yeah.
you
In
don't
fact,
want.
yeah, okay. Just to add here, I would be very happy if a sort of a first squad or a preliminary squad for the World Cup is announced even before the IPL, so that certain players know that they are in contention. It shouldn't be a bone hanging कि यार IPL में मैं नहीं चला तो क्या होगा
How many
जगह
players
मिलेगी
are you looking there? So then that preliminary squad has what, 20 players then? because
max
because
18
पहले
players. In fact,
पहले तो एक
18
प्रथा
players.
होती थी, if you remember, 30 probables. You
नहीं
guys
नहीं वो
remember
तो
that?
I would say 18 players. Just make it very
30,
clear that this is what we're looking at.
yeah, 30
Unless
probables में,
drastic.
yeah, 30 probables में you were
But
sure
we
कि
don't
सात
even
आठ
play that
player
much
तो
T20
मिलेंगे.
भाई
international
30
cricket, right?
probables में तो सभी आ जाएंगे फिर पॉइंट ही नहीं ना 30
नहीं, that's what I'm
probables
saying. That's what I'm saying. That 30 probables was more like a motivation thing for the players who were on the fringes. कि चलो, we are thinking about you. You also knew that in the end the squad will be made, cut down from the 20 players who are there in the 30 probables.
And look at this great question because Kushal, honestly, you read my mind, man. What about this? Because Gurkita just said, obviously, I hope and we all hope that they give us clarity about their futures in this format. I think they'll just play this World Cup as well.
See, if this happens, then then you should really be convinced that nothing's going to change in Indian cricket if all three of them play. I don't mind Rahul making a space for himself in the 11, provided he nails the number 4 or number 5 spot in the IPL. Because between Kishan batting at number 3, if Rahul does well at number 5, I'd prefer Rahul at 5 or
But
even
where
4.
he's not going to bat in that position in
So
T20.
if he doesn't, then I see, if he's batting as an opener with the same intent, for me it's a hard no. It should not even be a contention to discuss his name in the squad. I don't think Rohit or see, Rohit's IPL returns and T20I returns have been very poor for him also, or for selectors to look past him. The only contention then remains about Virat. Now, if you have Rutu in there, and if you already have Gill, so you have three players in Jaiswal, Ruturaj, and Gill. All three of them who can bat in the top three. Then I don't think you need Virat, and I think all three of them are better players of spin bowling than Virat. And there will not be enough pace in the pitches in West Indies for you to really need Virat's skill against pace that you needed in Australia. So for me, there's only one contention, which is for KL, and that too only if he bats in the middle order. If he's not batting in the middle order, just move on from all top three, or all three of them.
But I think Virat will definitely go to that World Cup. I think Rohit, I'm not sure, because even this South Africa,
No, but in place of who? In place of who? If you think Virat will go to that World Cup, then you cannot say that that Tilak is a lock.
well, Tilak will be at 4,
So where will Sky bat?
Sky at 5.
Where will
ये
Hardik?
क्या?
Bro,
Let-
वही बात है कि मतलब ये मतलब Avnish is
okay, one second. What is your team? Let's understand that. What is your team? Right here, right now. What is your team? You guys
So I have
Gill
Jaiswal
and
to open.
Jaiswal open. Gill and Jaiswal.
Jaiswal to open, one between Gill or Ruturaj, whosoever does well. At this point of time, you will probably say that Gill's slightly ahead in the order,
more than
but
slightly.
only
But on the contrary, if I take Virat to that World Cup, I'll make him an opener with Jaiswal. And then Sky at 1.
how can you sort of say convincingly that Virat is a better fit for those pitches than any of Ruturaj or Gill? Especially when
I
you know
think
spin,
pedigree, big time player.
especially when you know spin will be bold. Especially when you know spin will be bold.
But bro, I'm just factoring the fact that he's just a big tournament player. I'm not really going into the nitty gritties. I
But then
understand where you're coming from.
if
I
you'll keep
understand.
going back to if you'll keep going back to your senior players because it's a big tournament, how will you move forward? It is then ठीक है फिर शमी को पिछले 4
But
tournaments में
that's why
वापस
I
लेके
feel
आए
this
हुए
one
हैं.
is the last one. This one is the last World Cup that they'll play. I'll tell you why. Because even think about it from a global cricket perspective, because it's in New York and all of that, they'll want a Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma there. I bet you.
ये तो
But
ये कोई logic नहीं है.
I
ये
know.
I
Don't
cannot
shoot the messenger.
see, I
Don't
cannot
shoot
debate
the
with this logic.
messenger.
I cannot debate with this logic.
I know. You guys are I agree with you guys, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Think about it from a cash cow perspective. Virat
Devil's
and Rohit,
advocate or Virat's advocate?
they won't look. They might not play the South Africa T20 International Series. Also, they might not play anything before the IPL, but they will go for that World Cup, and that would probably be the final
then-
ICC tournament.
Okay, but then how is it fair?
It's
how is it
not
fair?
fair. It's not fair, bro. It's not fair.
11
All
bolo,
I'm-
11 bolo. 11
All I'm
bolo.
trying to say
It'll
is
be
that
easier
would
to take it.
transpire no matter what. Like we might go back and forth and be like, yeah, Tilak should play here and Sky and
So
stuff
for
like
me,
that. And that's
like
the
I
ideal
said,
way.
Absolutely.
Jaiswal to open, Gill / Ruturaj as the other opener. Whosoever is not in the 11 makes it to the squad maybe. 3 and 4 is Tilak and Surya, and those positions can be sort of interchanged depending upon the bowling attack or what the pitch is. I feel those two positions can be that fluid. You don't really have to be so hard and fast into that. So your top 4 is fixed, and this top 4 I feel covers sort of two players who are left-handers, two who are right-handers, equally good against spin and pace. So I think this top 4 is sorted. If Hardik's fit, he also makes it to the 11 without a doubt. And right now he's your captain. He's been wanting to bat at 5, which I feel is okay because his big hitting has gone down a little. Number 6 is a spot which I feel is open for grabs. My top 5 does not have a keeper, so I'd want to go for Jitesh. Or if Hardik bats 6, then Jitesh 5 maybe.
No Sanju
Now
in your team.
I have not taken Sanju because I don't think he's in the scheme of things anyway, because he's not in this squad. You would have wanted him to be in this squad for anyone to make a case for him, right? And I honestly don't know what is the thinking with regards to Sanju for the Indian selectors, because see, he cannot be as bad to miss out on the Asia Cup squad than to miss out on this series squad and also to miss out on the Asian Games squad. So there is something which is missing, something which is not meeting the eye. I am not convinced that he doesn't even make your Asian Games squad. He's he's had his inconsistencies, but he's still talented and good enough to at least make the Asian Games squad, right? And maybe even this squad. So there is that. Uh, then uh, like I said, number 6 is maybe Jitesh. Number 7, now if you have Akshar at 7 followed by 4 bowlers, you again have the same problem of not having enough batting depth. I feel what India would probably be looking at, which is the ideal 11 or the ideal scenario, is that you play all three of Sundar, Akshar, and Kuldeep, or if not Kuldeep, then maybe Bishnoi. You decide between one amongst them, right? That makes your top 9, and then two pacers, one doing Bumrah, the other spot again up for grabs, whether it's Siraj, whether it's Mukesh, or whether it's Arshdeep, right? So
Arshdeep for
that
me.
Arshdeep has been out of form for some time now and has been lacking control. So I am
I
not.
know,
I have
but
question marks on him
just as an
right now.
option,
So sorry.
just as an option, I know we saw Mukesh himself in the West
Yeah.
Indies T20
So
series
so
bowled
there
on
is
the
that
option side.
11. Then, like I said, maybe Ruturaj is in the squad. So is Rinku in the squad. So that makes it 13. And you'll probably have another pacer, which makes it 14. And then one other player who you could decide whether you want a extra batter, or whether you want another all rounder in Shivam Dubey. So
And
that
what about Rishabh Pant, lads? Forgot
I'm
about
I,
him.
see again. I'm not sure if he'll be fit in time. If he's not playing the IPL, we still don't know. So if he's not playing the IPL, how do you take him to the World T20?
Okay, so 1 second, let me just bring you in here. Do you agree with Mehul? Where would you like to add or remove players from here?
A lot of
The,
places.
the
I mean,
top two go. The top two go.
with the top three, I agree with
See, it
four, five,
is
One
six.
sec. What?
right
What did
now.
you say? The top
Right
three or
now, it's
removing the top three?
right now it's blasphemy to not have Jaiswal in your T20 team.
I
Yeah,
agree.
absolutely.
I
I
agree.
mean,
So who would you
I won't
remove?
I won't get carried away by Rohit's ODI form and say that he'll play him in the T20 World Cup, because I mean I don't want to mix format. Virat no go. I don't think there is anything to gain there, to be very honest. I mean it might sound harsh. I don't want any global tournament to be made into a celebration of an individual. We have had enough of it. So for me, I think Jaiswal. I think I would be okay if Kishan opens with Jaiswal. The only reason is because if Kishan is not opening, that it leads to India making a mistake with some random wicket keeping option, whatnot. Because I really want to have Rinku in that level.
Hmm.
So maybe Kishan opens with Jaiswal, and then you have Sky at 3, Tilak at 4, Hardik at 5, Rinku at 6. Bumrah is your bowler. One of Aksar Jadeja. Sundar is there. Again, Sundar is a player that I would want
I
to
would
have.
play Bishnoi. Would you play Bishnoi?
Yeah, works. Then Sundar is your 7. Uh,
No,
Bishnoi
Sundar is
8.
a 8. Akshar is a 7.
नहीं अब वो सोचना पड़ेगा ना अभी. So Aksar is not a lock. Sundar is a lock for me. So
Okay.
7
Ooh.
is a Sundar. Probably a place too low for him, but then we'll figure that out later. And then Bishnoi
Sumesh,
at 8.
Bishnoi
You
or
can put
Kuldeep?
Aksar as well. So Aksar at 7, Aksar at 8 then. Bishnoi 9,
Bishnoi,
Bumrah 10, one more pacer.
Bishnoi or Kuldeep?
I'd pick Bishnoi.
Yeah, same when I pick
I
Bishnoi.
mean, I feel T20 team mein you can actually bring back that yo-yo thing and just pick players who are better all round rather than one trick pony. Because
Yeah.
we saw, I mean, when in crunch moments, your fieldings and everything, it matters. And then Bumrah has a certain lock, and Bumrah's partner is maybe that's still up for grabs. It can be Siraj, it can be Arshdeep, it can be.
Mukesh.
I'm not convinced about Prasidh Krishna. Yeah, Mukesh as well. So that leaves you with 3 pace options and 3 spinners, and you have batting till number 8.
What about Shami being his partner?
Anything can happen.
एक मतलब शमी तो is designated India's World T20 bowler.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
but the
one
only
second.
discomfort I have with this 11 is there is no Gill, which just doesn't seem fit. Fit right to me. I mean, I think he has become a name big enough for them to not leave out. So to
But
include,
do you think
they might end up dropping
so
Jaiswal.
with your 11? So there's no Rohit, there's no Virat, there's no KL, there's no Gill. All those are four incredible
I'm
batters.
saying,
But you
see,
think
the point about Gill is it's not ideal, but you don't have a finisher wicket keeper. So you have to, if you have to see what Gurkirat said, Jitesh makes sense. But Jitesh, if you're not going to play him at this level now, then I mean it's very tough for him to make it to that World Cup squad, right?
Yeah,
Because even in
yeah.
the IPL, he's going to bat at 5-6. He might get a decent enough knock in 4 games. Will it count big enough for him to make it to the World Cup squad? I'm not sure. And then
Which
this is
is
where yeah.
which is why I am saying that if KL Rahul wants to be in contention for that World T20, he should be batting at 5.
But then, if KL is playing, then Tilak goes out for me because I still want Rinku in the team because
No,
India
no,
need proper finishers.
no. Then,
I
then
tell you why. Then Gill and Jaiswal becomes your opener. You have Sky at 3, and then KL comes at 4. And
no,
so has
he could come at 5, Tilak at 4.
but then Rinku goes out. I want Rinku in the 11 for sure. Well, I would pick Rinku
My
over
my
others right
my
now because
only,
again India don't have a designated finisher. Even in
my
this ODI,
only concern with Rinku is that he's for a number 6 guy, he starts a little slow. So sometimes in that position you will not have that luxury. I
but
actually have more hopes from him as an ODI player, to be very honest, because also, the problem is, regardless of how much we say or whatever happens, we have still not been able to in T20s bat like, you know bat with bat without any fear, and
so this
sometimes it
is
is
where
also not possible.
if you have a Sundar or a Raksar at 8, उसके बाद तो अगर तुम विदाउट
नहीं,
फियर नहीं
वो
खेल
तो
पा रहे
मैं
तो
बोल
then
ही रहा हूँ कि योर आइडियल लाइनअप फॉर वेस्ट इंडीज शुड बी having one off spinner, which is Sundar, one left arm spinner in Akshar, and then one wrist spinner. For me, right now, it's Kuldeep, but it's by a very thin margin, because what I have seen is that Kuldeep has improved defensively and he is varying his pace a lot, and he has completely taken out the factor of predictability in his bowling. The batters cannot line him up as easily as what they could earlier. But with Bishnoi, you still see that happening. So that is one factor for me. कि ठीक है, he's a better fielder. He can probably even smack that one odd boundary or 106 shot.
short Kishan. And speaking of one thing, Ishan Kishan, I'm just trying to figure out if I was him, how the hell am I going to be playing the T20 World Cup? Is there a chance? Because
No, you
if
keep continuing with innings like this one and the last game, you stay in contention.
no, because he's also the keeping option, right? So then your Jitesh goes
All
out
the
the
more
window.
reason.
all the
All the
more
more
reason. The
reason.
lefty is a keeper. I mean, there are a lot of things that
But
work
where
in
would
his
you play
favor.
him? Where would you play him?
I would open
यही
him.
number 3 रहेगा ना फिर.
Yeah, but I would open with him. Why?
But you'd open with who?
He'll go
Jaiswal
out
and Kishan.
altogether. Yeah.
Jaiswal
Why
and
not?
Kishan, and then Gill.
फिर Gill goes out.
भाई तूने सुना नहीं क्या फिर मैंने क्या बोला इतने देर
Oh,
से कि
so you
जिस
okay?
तरह
Fine,
That's
fair
what I'm
enough,
saying.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So then your Sky and the Tilak will follow.
Yeah.
So, okay, makes sense. And you're going to keep Hardik Pandya at 5, I'm guessing.
Hardik 5, Rinku 6.
Okay, so Rinku is also a short few. Next is Rinku short few because I completely get where Som's coming from. You need a finisher, and it feels like Rinku has that know-how. And in the current lot of the youngsters, you'd put your money on Rinku, right?
Yeah, 100%. So my order would be same as Somesh, no Gill. If Pant is fit, I'll open with him. So whoever is the keeper, he opens with Jaiswal. That is intent taken care of. Sky at 3. That's another intent taken care of. 4 पे if Hardik wants to bat 4, no problem. Bat him at 4. You have an option to play Shreyas if you want to because he plays spin well. आपको उसका जरूरत पड़ने वाला है तो combat spin well. वहाँ पे अगर आपको केल को लाना है तो वो भी आप उसको लेके आ सकते हो at that spot. So that is one spot where you can experiment. You have Rinku and then you have Aksar to follow, but I still have concerns and a lot of them over Aksar and Sundar's batting and their wicket taking form. Just having them will not do the job. They'll have to keep taking wickets and also bat. They at times have done only one discipline, and that too hasn't always been say 50, 80%. So hopefully that is how they are used because Sundar Gobi, you need that impetus to come. And yeah, Abbas bhai. है कुछ तो vibe match हो रही है, and with the ball, if you have Sundar Aksar going, तो that depth भी बढ़ गया. Kuldeep Bishnoi both have made good points. My second pacer at this point of time will be Mukesh with Bumrah. So I have
Okay.
two the very good defensive options in Bumrah and Mukesh to take care कि भाई कोई रन ना दो आप, control दे दो, and you have three spinners and you still have Hardik as an option up top to add some value as a sixth bowler. तो ये काफी है, बैटिंग भी नीचे तक है, and most vibes are also checked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in why you're going for Mukesh and not Arshdeep. Just quickly on that, because Bumrah
Just
can do
control,
or just control.
control. Bumrah will do everything that is required, but he still needs somebody to control. And आपके बाकी सब स्पिनर भी ऐसे हैं कि Bishnoi can go here and there, but Kuldeep will not. But Sundar and Aksar, which is why the form of Sundar and Aksar is the game. If they are not doing clicking together as two all-rounders, it will not work out. फिर आप कोई भी combination खेल रहे हो, people will either line them up or they will be peppered to not give away too many runs against. So their form will be
Agreed.
crucial.
Abbas thought, yeah, I'll just feature your team. He goes to say this, guys: Jaiswal, Ritu slash Pant, Surya, Tilak, Hardik, Jitesh slash Rinku, Jadeja, Aksar, Kuldeep, Bumrah, Arshdeep. If Pant is available, I'll open with him and play in place of Jitesh. Tilak is an off spinner. YBJ, like, yeah, of course, I get that. But you guys are, of course, not going for. I mean, there's so many names in Indian cricket. That's
You
why
know,
it's just become
inevitably,
challenging.
I feel what will happen is they'll push Tilak out. They'll have Gill open with Jaiswal and play Kishan in the middle order.
I I don't think Tilak will go out. I'm actually more worried about Rutu. I'm
नहीं,
actually
ऋतु
more worried
ऋतु को
about
मेरे
him.
कंटेंशन में नहीं है एक्चुअली. तो वो
I'm
तो
not
है
worried
ही है.
about Ruturaj at all. He's
हाँ,
just coming because Asian Games हुआ. नहीं तो वो
yeah,
squad
yeah.
में भी नहीं आता.
My bigger worry is ki, you know, if he goes out, like if he goes out of the T20 scheme of things, he could very well find himself out of the ODI scheme of things as well, where I genuinely feel he deserves a decent
Yeah.
run.
But then that's where it will happen. Na? It is good. He is out of the T20 setup. He can stay as a very good permanent member of the ODI setup, which is a perfect place to be.
Let's hope. Let's
Now,
hope.
hopefully.
Even Ashutosh is going to get his 11 in. Gail, Jaiswal, Kishan, Sky, Hardik, Rinku, Akshar, Sundar, Bumrah, Bishnoi, Arshdeep, Tilak, Mukesh, Prasid, Avesh, Kuldeep on the bench for him.
Yeah, this,
I
I
like
think what Ashutosh is saying is actually what I feel will end up happening.
Yeah, I agree. So, one second, all the players.
If this is happening, I would push Gill to 3 and have Sky Kishan open.
I'm
Yeah,
guessing
I agree. I
all the
agree.
people who are watching this as well are probably agreeing with that, right? It'll be interesting to do a poll right now, because if you're listening in, just do a poll and we can just get a sense of what a shot that is. It's on or it's out. So Kishan perishes. That's a hilarious
What
dismissal.
was
That
that? This
is
was
wild.
uh,
If we can just put a poll up really quickly. I know Jaiswal lost his wicket. Sorry, not Jaiswal, Kishan, beg your pardon. 164 for 2, 15.2. So India still have quite a few number of overs to go before they can even think about going to 200. I think they have enough time for that. But Ishan Kishan, the more and more you watch this, it'll be hilarious. He got up to see whether he got it over the
you know,
rope, but it wasn't to be.
Kishan's
But
a very
well, one second,
Kishan's a
Gurkina. So one
very
second, you, Somesh, and Nix, and pretty much me, we're all agreeing that Rohit, Virat, Gill, KL. I mean, Gill is the exception.
Oh,
Rohit,
so you've
Virat,
agreed
KL.
Virat is not there. You've agreed.
I, I'm saying, I'm saying, just let all those three guys move on and just concentrate in Test cricket and ODI cricket. But what I'm also saying is, in reality, sometimes you wouldn't want it always happens, right? Like in the fact that we might call it from the outside, but they'll end up playing. All I'm saying that from the head, I still want to see our youngsters go out there and win that World Cup for us. Not Virat, not Rohit and stuff. But you know how Indian cricket is. So we can go back and forth, back and forth. But I generally feel that
I think we are underestimating. I don't see what you said earlier happening. Neither of them are part of any of these T20 squads and coming straight to the World Cup. I mean, as bizarre as Indian cricket might be, it's not this ridiculous.
I know, because the World Cup also happens 4 days after the IPL. So you'll get 2 World Cup warm-up matches, I'm guessing. That'll be the only time where you'll actually see, oh, shot, Surya Kumar Yadav.
Bread and
How
butter.
many
But how can
times
you
will
say
you
it's
get off
4 days
the
after the
mark?
Look,
IPL?
IPL dates are not out
out.
yet. IPL dates are not out yet, and
But
I think
obviously we
this
can
time
guess,
around
right? It's going to be a
IPL will.
week. It's
No,
going to be a
I
week
think this
after
time
the IPL.
around. I think this time around IPL will finish a week earlier and not in the not on the last Sunday of May.
But
Given
even
it's
then, you
It's
can't
very
probably.
simple. We can actually guess right now that when will the IPL start? When is the last day of England test? I think it's the 11th of
11.
March.
But the
So
WPL will start, of course, before.
so 11th of March is Monday. I can guess right now that IPL might start on 15th or 16th of March itself. That very
No,
weekend.
it'll be 20th. It'll be a 10-day match. But my point being, even after the IPL, there's no way that the BCCI can shoehorn in one more 3-match bilateral series.
That is not happening for sure.
No
That
chance.
is not happening for sure.
So
kahan
basically,
se?
so imagine a Rohit and a Virat actually have some bangers of an IPL, like
See,
800,
Virat definitely will and can have, because he's going to play 7 games with Chinnaswamy. Rohit, मतलब if he's not done it for 5 years, I mean, एक साल में कितना ही change हो जाएगा यार.
Okay, fine. What about KL then?
Again, if
बताया
KL
तो
is
भाई,
opening, that spot is not available.
So
if he's
basically,
opening
the
तो
BCCI
नहीं.
should at least come out right now, at least for the South Africa T20 International Series when they announce the squads. They should
That is
just.
where we'll get more clarity.
But even that's 5 months away. So
क्या? What is 5 months away?
I mean, the World Cup. But right now, with the series starting in like what?
Things don't happen this ridiculously. The test series happens once in 6 months. Have you ever seen some random T20 player selected for test? I mean, we have. I'm not saying, but इतना random नहीं होता ना. थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर होता है बस.
All I'm saying is, right now we're playing 5 T20s against Australia, which the second one is going on. Then we play 3 against South Africa, and then we play Test cricket against England. I think we have that white ball series against Afghanistan, and then IPL, and then the World Cup.
अफगानिस्तान के साथ हैं 3 T20Is.
Yeah, so three South Africa, 3 Afghanistan is where you would know the provincial squad.
Okay, fine. So I think because Star Sports have already got Hardik Pandya to do the ads, Hardik's going to be captaining
They've
that.
changed it to KL.
They've changed it to KL.
Yeah, because Hardik is ruled out.
Hardik is not available, na?
Oh my word. So there we go again, right? Then if KL comes back to take over right now, then he's obviously going to be Hardik's vice captain in the West Indies. So KL will take a spot
If
because he's the
KL
vice
is
captain.
opening in the South Africa T20 series, then I'm right now prepared to not watch the World Cup at all. Then I know where is it gonna go.
No, but then KL and Jaiswal will open, and then Gill will have to sit out
Whoever,
there.
if KL is opening, then I know from now itself that what's gonna happen in a big match in the 2020 World Cup.
Maybe this is the
No, like,
this is the final nail in the coffin that
one
KL
thing,
needed to change.
just think about Rohit and Virat. Do you think if you were them, would you announce your T20 international retirement, or would you just come out with a statement saying, I'm not concentrating on this format anymore? Because if they come out and say retiring, then
No,
bro,
what's your question again? KL and
my
who?
question is, obviously both of them, Rohit and Virat, at this moment in time, they know if they just come out and have a press conference or put it out there saying, look, we're done with this format, then at least it opens up a lifeline and we can think about, okay, find your Gaikwads and all your other younger buggers to make that particular World Cup.
I don't think that's happening for Virat, because he still wants to win a T20 World Cup, because that's one trophy that he's not. He would want to press for it.
Even with Rohit, bro.
He has all the right to do it. He has all the right to try for it.
Avnish, are you asking me for the ideal scenario or the realistic scenario?
Both. Tell me both.
See, ideal scenario, to what you are saying, that should happen. But realistic scenario is, if I am Virat or KL, there is no upside for me to announce my T20 retirement.
KL का तो chance ही नहीं है. Even Virat, I mean, I don't see.
And see, there is no upside for me, because I know my fans are there who will defend me. I know there are enough people doing PR. तो क्यों? ठीक है, लोग आपस में लगड़ झगड़ रहे हैं, मेरे लिए लॉबी कर रहे हैं, मैं क्यों क्लियर करूं confusion? System is also such
No,
both.
because for
See,
example,
okay, listen,
for
listen.
example, the
Arey,
2024
let me
World Cup,
complete.
if it wasn't
Let me
happening,
complete.
if it wasn't
Let me.
happening, and only the 2026 World Cup was happening, they would have
हाँ.
retired for sure. For sure.
अरे जरूरत क्या है? You have the system which is you have the system which promotes ambiguity and confusion. So and eventually everyone's a beneficiary of it. Everyone's complicit and beneficiary of it. So what is the upside? मैं क्यों अनाउंस करूं रिटायरमेंट अगर मेरे को पता है मेरी फैन आर्मी बैठी है टू
नहीं,
मेक अ
एक और
केस
चीज
फॉर
है ना,
मी.
see, since the World Cup is like 15 days after the IPL or a week after the IPL, there is a fair chance of 3-4 important players being not available.
Injured.
60 दिन के सीजन में if you're expecting that all your 15 frontline players will come out unscratched, unscathed, not gonna happen. So Virat is 3 injuries down to be selected, if not selected right away.
But one second, even though
3 भी
I don't
ज्यादा
know
होगा.
how
Two
it is,
two
but
would do
this is
it.
actually true, right, Nix? Like if a guy like Virat or Rohit also, if Rohit just tells, I don't know, he has to tell Jaisha or Roger Binny or whoever it is that listen, play me in that next World Cup. It's done. It's done because they've got so much credit in the bank, right? I know it's wrong, but don't you think that's how it actually works?
But what is this credit in the bank is what I want to
No,
know. I
no,
mean, where
I
will
don't think I don't think Rohit has credit in the bank when it comes to T20s or even
absolutely
T20Is or even T20 World Cups.
I'm
I
saying
don't think he
credit in
has
the
that credit.
bank in terms of the Indian public. Be like,
No,
हाँ
that
ठीक
I
है हम
नहीं
हमारा
that I
रोहित
know.
है, he'll deliver.
वो तो फिर if tomorrow Dhoni comes and says I want to play, फिर वो तो
yeah.
credit in the bank तो he also
फिर तो
has.
मतलब the bank itself will break कि भाई हाँ, why not?
The Dhoni, I mean, essentially they were considering it unless, I mean, he's still playing IPL 2024. That's what I'm saying.
भाई
Dhoni
अभी
is
अभी
still trying to
अभी भी
contribute
नंबर
to the
6 के
Indian
लिए
cricket
कीपर नहीं है
economy.
भाई. अभी भी नंबर 6 के लिए कीपर वाला स्पॉट ओपन है, by the way.
No, all I'm saying is Dhoni is still contributing to the Indian cricket economy by playing IPL 2024. Bro, if the news broke out today
So is
that
Virat.
CSK, yeah, 100%. So if CSK came out saying we didn't have Dhoni in the retained play, bro, you know how the drop would have happened in terms of the people wouldn't have even cared about IPL 2024 because, oh my God, Dhoni's
You know,
there.
all
That
of
was,
No,
this,
no,
these developments have
it
actually
will
made
not
me
happen.
कि मेगा ऑक्शन एक्चुअली में होने वाला है, बिकॉज एवरी ऑल ऑफ दिस थिंग दे वांटेड हार्दिक बिफोर द मेगा ऑक्शन ताकि अगली साल रिटेन कर लें इजीली. धोनी ने भी सोचा कि एक साल और खेल लेता हूँ, अगली साल मेगा ऑक्शन के पहले छोड़ दूंगा. बिकॉज आई वाज थिंकिंग एक्चुअली कि शायद नहीं होगा, बट दिस डेवलपमेंट दिस सीजन विद धोनी नॉट रिटायरिंग, दिस हार्दिक स्वैप, it has made me now inclined towards the point that maybe we will see one more mega auction. But
And
because, you know,
at
फिर
some
last comment अच्छा था
mega auction has
मैन्यू
to,
वाला.
someday it has to.
Padliya. But one second, even the way, Nix, you look back at how Dhoni just announced his retirement and had a kind of plan. Okay, fine, listen, Virat would be my next sort of thing. Now we're seeing it in this format where it's definitely everyone on the road wants to see a bloody Yashasvi Jaiswal and doesn't want to go to the nightmares of that last T20 World Cup. Oh yeah, our right-handers, and we love them. We all, Somesh is the biggest Rohit Sharma fan. I'm a big Virat Kohli fan, but we still know that there are other youngsters who can definitely deliver and surpass those expectations. But when will the BCCI recognize this, bro? Because every year you look at it, Knicks, there's a tournament, 2025 Champions Trophy, Pakistan, mein, yeah, we want to take Virat there. Virat's never played in Pakistan. We'll make it happen. That'll be a sensational boost. And then 2026, again, we're hosting the World Cup. 2027, South Africa. So ICC will also require people like Virat and Rohit. Na? And that's where it's scary. It's scary.
it
I'm just putting it
see,
out there. I'm just putting it
no,
out there.
fair. Just clearing a few things out. They will care, but they can't just keep dragging with people out there. So I expect the calls to be taken this season itself, whether it is Rohit, whether it is Virat. We may not know it, but the team management will know it for sure that this is their plan. This is how they'll go out. Itna professionalism I expect from both Rohit and Virat. It may not be towards the fans, but it will be there towards the team because they care about it as much as we do. And both of them, I don't think they care about the thing they कि भाई मेरा पीआर है मेरा आर में वो करेगा तो वो आई डोंट अग्री विद पाजी कि why should I think they need to they owe it to their fans more to anybody else, but that's for them to decide how they want to do it. With regards to format, I think the time has come to take the call कि both Rohit and Virat can focus on the longer formats. You
50 for
need them
Gaikwad.
there. Yeah, 50 for Gaikwad again. Could have come earlier, but still, just playing to his role maybe. So this is the role that your role clarity is what I'm expecting from India as well. Okay, you take those calls, the two seniors, you need them for transition for the test side. England का part test घर पे will not be easy. So you have to plan that transition well in both ODIs and T20. ODI, it's even more critical because you're not going to play a lot of them. Only 6, if I remember correctly, till champion in the next year at least. 24 के बाद बहुत होगा. So you have to take into consideration all of that. I don't see them playing the next T20. Oh, is that wicket? No, good. So the two seniors, they play the longer formats. Rohit doesn't have the credit in the bank to ask for another T20 World Cup. I don't think he will ask. If Virat wants to ask, he can. He the max that they can do is open with him. That's all. उसके अलावा there is no room to get in anybody else. केएल राहुल भी as I said, अगर खेलना है तो 4-5 पे ही खेलेगा. वो भी अगर वो साउथ अफ्रीका में नहीं खेलता है तो नहीं होगा. So hopefully that communication will come. It came during the World Cup and we were all pacified. So hopefully they'll do that again because it is imperative. क्योंकि the problem here is the lack of game time. अगर तुम्हारे पास 25-30 T20 होते, it would have been easier for them and us to gauge कि okay, see these are the guys that are playing and this is how we will get to the squad. But now that is not the case. So hopefully we'll see that difference also coming through in terms of communication before the South Africa series. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it from a Rohit Virat perspective, that 2021 T20 World Cup in the UAE, and then, of course, down under. So they've had their chances, and it's the same old narrative. But the problem is, Indian fans, of course, can't really go back to that moment, right? Because if yesterday was that India defeat to England, people would be like, how are we even talking about this? Have to bleed in the youngsters, and they should. So I hope to see Rinku, I hope to see Jaiswal, I hope to see Tilak, Sky pretty much dominate that batting lineup. And then if they want to take a Virat, take him. But honestly, I don't know if that's going to do us any good.
No, just final 2 points to just finish this off. One thing is you also got to understand from the player perspective. I mean, for them, it will always be the story of unfinished business. They would want to end on a high if there is an opportunity. And right
That's what
now,
I'm
the
saying.
cycle is such that there is an opportunity to gain something every year. This is how the system is laid out. There
It's
is
so
some
much
or
a
the
good
other.
point that you mentioned, because think about it. If Rohit has a T20 World Cup in his resume, but if imagine he wins it again or Virat won it.
So this is where the call should not be left to the players. This is where we cannot say that if Virat wants to play, he'll play. I mean, this is where the system is wrong, and this is where all the advocates who are we see as analysts here and there, they're like, oh, he's a big match player, big name. It doesn't matter. First and foremost, it's for us to, not us as in people who are running the sport and you want to produce the results for India, and even the coaches. They'll have to take a call कि भाई we can't mix formats. If certain players have done well in the ODI World Cup, doesn't mean that they'll succeed in T20s. I mean, Rohit Sharma has been a below average T20 player for 5 years. I mean, that won't change after a good World Cup. That's a 50-over World Cup. That's a different format altogether. So
Yeah.
this is where they need to be a little more practical and a lot less emotional. Players would want to play. Everyone would want to play. I mean, even you and I would want to play for India, even though if we don't have that skill. So, I mean, is it for us to decide? It should not be for individuals to decide. And this is where what the system is for. And this is where the selectors and coaches and the and BCCI and everyone come into picture. And they should take a call to, these are players for T20s. Whatever you've done in other formats is irrelevant.
Okay. Vikas, if you're listening in, the poll, buddy, just put it up on YouTube right now. How many people want to see Virat and Rohit play the World Cup compared to no chance? They don't want to see them in the squad. So let us know in the comments as well, because I just want to get you guys aligned in terms of your thoughts, whether you guys actually agree with us, because we want to see this transition, especially in this format. I know the World Cup is fast approaching, but if not now, then when? Because 2026 India's still a while away, and it just makes you think about those 2-3 players as well. By the way, 188 for 3, is it right now? By the
Yeah.
looks of things.
Third wicket has gone down.
Third wicket has gone down, 189 for 3, still 2.2 overs to be bowled. So let's see how much India get. Let us know in the comments below, and like this particular video, because we're doing watchalongs after so long. Watchalongs has always been one of our USPs on cricket.com. We burst onto the scene like this by just letting our thoughts, chatting cricket, using an opportunity to just connect from living room to living room. And Rinku Singh comes out of bat as well, so hoping for some fireworks. And let us know about your thoughts generally about the Indian T20 international team in general. Do you guys think Sky,
And
Tilak
you're seeing
are
Tilak
locking?
Verma elevated in real time.
Oh yeah.
No, but this is fine. I don't think the entry point for Tilak Verma.
Yeah, but I agree with
Ah.
the move. But the point is, having him at 5 itself is a injustice to him.
See, that is a problem that you will never solve in Indian cricket, because you need separate format pools for that. क्योंकि जब तक वो नहीं होगा, you will always be compromising with somebody's spot कि अब last time नहीं खेला था तो let's get Kishan back, last time श्रेयस नहीं था let's get श्रेयस back. तो जब तक वो आप differentiation नहीं करोगे, somebody will always be playing out of position.
It's gonna be musical chairs, boys. I feel, because even like right now, you guys told me KL Rahul is gonna be captaining that side in South Africa. Gurkirat, it's gonna be full kichdi, bhai.
नहीं, सूर्या will be captain. KL को use किया है for the face. तो देखे.
Okay.
Yeah. ठीक है, कभी कभी some days you should also eat khichdi after all the junk that you eat anyway.
Junk nahi bhai, healthy ban chuka hua hai, healthy. Ask Somesh also.
No, but
Somesh,
you know, the question that I had wanted to ask was that, what do you guys make of the Rutu inning so far? Is it a good one? Is it par for the course, or is it below par? Because he's 52 or 41 right now. I don't think he's lagged intent. I just think he's, tried to hit it and sometimes lost shape and not been able to. So
I
that's
think
my
he's just been
comment.
playing second fiddle to whoever's been his partner. But more importantly, Gurkirat, with this Gaikwad innings, what does that do for him? Because he's pretty much competing with Shubman Gill in terms of that opener spot. Gill,
See, so
obviously, bro, imagine even Gaikwad has a sensational IPL. He performs like in the rest of the series, and he goes in South Africa, kills it. I still feel Gill will get the nod. Because Jaiswal 100% is a pick for me, and I don't know, because it's all the left-handed wala
no,
rule.
Jaiswal's a lock. Jaiswal's a lock.
No, right?
See, I felt Rutu's chance to come into the T20I side was in this IPL, but he started off well, but then he tapered off, and at the same time, Kishan started off poorly and then picked up. So that meant that Kishan retained his spot in the squad, right? So that was that. And now also you see that today, like in the last game and vote today, Kishan did not start his innings well, but he was able to make it up fairly and end up with a decent strike rate. So he will keep retaining that spot also by the virtue of being a left-hander and then a keeper. With Gaikwad, I think as long as he doesn't really outshine Gill, it would be very difficult for him to displace Gill. If both of them have similar performances, I think they'll stick with who's the incumbent, which is Shubman Gill. But yeah, innings like today, I'm not sure how much do they help Rutu's case to replace Gill, because even though sometimes Gill starts slowly in this IPL, after the first 3 overs, his strike rate really picked up, and he's shown that he could really change gears in the change gears in the power play itself, which has not really happened for Ruturaj as much.
Indeed.
No, but
We'll take some
I'll not
comments.
agree with that assessment at all. क्योंकि they play in very different sides. They play in sides that require batters to bat completely differently. And for all the talks of here I agree with the Gaikwad strike rate bit, that yes, he could have had 10, 15 more, but he was going second fiddle when Kishan was going, but there is nobody who's stopping him from going that. So that I agree with कि यहाँ पे उसका inning थोड़ा better हो सकता था. But even in IPL, you haven't seen Gill do something that you at times feel कि भाई गुरु गायकवाड़ नहीं कर सकता. And again, it is not, it isn't, the difference isn't as much as we feel at times. Maybe Gill का ज़्यादा याद रहता है, but even in the matchup that you have with Conway Gaikwad, they both played to their roles. And CSK have been a side that are happy to play to the par score more than the above par score. So maybe it could be a very fascinating thing to dive deep into in terms of after getting set, say 40, 50 balls, which one of the two have a higher strike rate in the past. So then maybe we can take a call whether there is a very clear difference, because you see, that is the template every Indian batter follows. Be it Gaikwad, Gill, कि भाई हम सेट हो जाएंगे, उसके बाद we will all hit. That's a pattern that every Indian batter follows. So
But
वो
Nikhil, just top of mind,
हाँ,
it actually feels, I mean, of course, data can prove us wrong. And if you
हाँ,
just ask me right now, I feel Gill is able to accelerate a lot more than Gaikwad. This is just the image that we have. Maybe
exactly. It is what we remember and what we call back the most. And again, it could be right, it could be wrong from both ways. मतलब जैसे मेरे को लग रहा है कि difference might not be much, it could be a lot. So again,
what I feel is right now, what this team is missing is who is a better player of change-ups, slower cutters into the wicket. Who is a better player of those kind of balls? Because again, in West Indies, you might end up with having those World Cup final kind of pitches.
Yeah.
So who is better suited for non-truer wickets or whatever the term for
Rinku
that?
Singh. Rinku Singh.
I just
Shabash.
think it'll become a case where how Akshar missed out the ODI World Cup. I know they said he's injured and all that, which is absolute bullshit. Let's call it for what it is. Akshar missed out because Jadeja was there and there was no chance he was going to like make that thing. And it's going to be similar to Gaikwad as well. I feel like Gill has that edge over him right now in terms of generally being the Indian poster boy. He might have been captain Gujarat this IPL. Who knows? That would propel his chances even more. But right here, right now, we're watching this Rinku Singh finish flurry show, and Somesh just called him as a really good finisher. So how do you rate him so far as a finisher? I know the whole 5-6 stand out, and even that last ball 6 to win it in the first T20, he really looks like a finisher. And what
There
makes
are
him so different?
there are certain players who have something about them which you can't define, which you can't define, but you can't measure with numbers. Something that Shardul Thakur has, that knack of just being in the
Oh,
game.
Shabash.
Four more, 209 for 3. Wild.
Something that I feel even Washington Sundar has, and I really feel Rinku also has that something about him which you can't put into numbers, but you just feel that he's someone who would take a positive route in a pressure situation.
Yeah.
And I think what we need more players like that, because I think that is how you win trophies. You got to take the positive. You should be able to have the balls to take the
Shot!
positive.
Sorry.
Man, this guy is something else. Wow, 25 of 7 balls.
Eh.
Wow.
Sean about your yes there.
Yeah, and even that is what I like about Jaiswal as well. That
Yeah.
if you sort of push him to the wall, he'll take the positive route out.
But Som, like, I hope this is not a trend, yeah. Like, we've seen it with so many young Indian players burst onto the scene, and once they, like, become 2-3 years senior, it feels like, that fear is lost.
That can happen if you pick Rinku for the test series.
Yeah.
I mean, that won't happen if you keep him limited to a T20 only player. If you want to make a test player out of him, then of course, because kitna yaad rakhega ek insaan? I mean, how can one person succeed in 3 different sports?
No, true.
Michael Jordan thought that he can become a baseballer. He couldn't.
No,
And this is
100%.
where we need to accept. Everyone needs to accept that it's not 3 formats; it's 3
Chalo.
different sports.
Come 4-6 एक और में चलो
Oh,
पहला आ गया.
shot. Gaikwad now. This is going to be,
But this
honestly,
is actually something very interesting, and we should keep an eye out on this IPL. That which batter is actually better on the slower ones, because we on the big day, that is what has been affecting India. Even we saw in Adelaide that first innings pitch was a little tacky, not coming out on the bat. So who are those players who have that extra time or who play the ball a little later so that they can actually measure for that change of pace and then still can go ahead and hit those shots?
Yeah.
I think it has to be Jaiswal indeed. Oh, another one. Oh, is he
Hey,
going to be
he's
caught out?
Out.
He's out.
Well played.
So,
ठीक है.
But
Gaikwad,
Jaiswal has been great in that regard also, and I think it's because he put on a lot of muscle between those 2 IPL seasons.
but 1 second, guys. 43 ball 58. As others made him look good tonight.
No, I think we have to put it in context.
Okay. Which is?
He was given a role; others were sort of going after the ball.
Yeah.
And that'll probably be Gill's role as well.
The problem with this role is exactly why everybody's after KL in that final. That when it doesn't come out before the acceleration, it always feels अरे क्या कर रहा है यार, boundary भी नहीं मार रहा है तू, you're getting stuck. But the thing is, we feel he's getting stuck. But if that is the role that the guy is given, why would he want to try and do something else? Because that is the role that is given to him. Okay, we have enough hitters at the other end. You have everybody from Tilak, Rinku, सब है आपके पास जो आके मारेंगे. आपका काम है आप एक एंड पकड़ के खड़े रहो. So that is what he's doing. Yes, there will always be a room के भाई that 60 or whatever scored could be 70. That 70 scored could be 80. But we are never going to be satisfied. But at the end of the day, you play what is there in front of you at that point of time. Abhi I'll still feel he could have got 10, 15 more, even without the hindsight aspect. कि भाई ये score कम भी पड़े ज़्यादा भी पड़े, but you play to your role, you will get better with it the more you play.
So, and this
Gaikwad
is
इतने matches खेला नहीं है.
see, the point is, this is the difference between good to great. This is a good knock. This is not a great knock. 12 runs to this, and this makes it a great knock. And till the point we don't have players who can actually bat till number 8, you would have at least one player who's been given this role.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it or not. Because from the outside, kitna bhi bol lo ki bhai, you should rather target a above par score than risk. You should be open to risking a lower, below par score in a hope of getting an above par score. But I don't think teams feel that way. Teams feel that at least if we can get to a par score, there is still a second innings where we can make a game out of it.
Correct. चलो 4-6 बोले थी, 2 आ गए, 2.
What a shot that is! That's
and
a pickup.
And बड़े गेम में तो और ही नहीं होने वाला. If you have to take that high risk route, वो semi-finals और finals में तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं होने वाला, because a lot of times we have seen almost par scores being defended because of the occasion.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, Anka, that way any team can plan for anyone, and we can just, of course, have subjective goals over there. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how India generally do going forward in that tournament, because more and more, if you look at it, the pressure, obviously, to win a World Cup is always there. But now knowing that India excel in group stages, go to the semi-final, and then they crash out, obviously, whoever the youngsters are, Rinku, Tilak, Sky, all those pressures will be there. But I just hope it doesn't remove the fear element out of them, because even if you talk about the fearless batters in Indian cricket right now, I would probably say 3 are playing today: Jaiswal, Tilak, Sky.
Yeah, fair.
See,
Those 3.
you have to first understand where is the fear element coming from. If
Ego and playing for their place. You talk about it in Rituraj Gaikwad. He has all the ability to, of course, play some great, mad shots. But I'm guessing right now, like Nick said, like every Indian batter, top order batter has a set template that I want to get runs first because I'm playing for my place in the team. No one's actually, but none of these guys can buy into the whole baseball philosophy because everyone's selfish about their runs now. And
no, I don't agree with that, because baseball is something that just doesn't happen. You need your entire ecosystem to be part of it. It's very easy to say the team, but it is not what helps you get those right players. And again, there was a good post that some Australian fans shared on my timeline. England tried to change the game, India have tried to change the game, but who's won? Australia doing it the Australia way. Every team has their way to get the job done. Effectively, what you have to get better at is executing it. You have to stick to what you do best. A set batter, a set Virat Kohli, a set Indian batter at times has been far more dangerous, as opposed to a potential cameo where you're continuing to take risk. So what you have to maximize on is what is the potential capability of your side. I think India did that very well in this World Cup in terms of getting their balance right. Okay, we'll attack at one end, hold and accelerate at the other. At the same time, you have people to do different roles. Nobody in any form of game will be able to just play one way. You can talk about baseball, Pakistan way. Eventually, you always play the situation. Then you can call it what. South Africa के सामने जो Stokes century मारी थी घर पे, that did not come the baseball way. Most of those baseball efforts we only see because the guy is then batting with the tail. That doesn't make it. Yes, Zach Crawley putting the wide ball for 4, that is fine. That is how he plays, but he will also get out like that. So that series that are happy to take, we will not be happy to take because we are conditioned to think differently.
Also, you know what?
Yeah, baseball cannot happen if you don't have players who can bat till 9. If they play only 6 batters or 7 batters, I don't think baseball will apply on those certain days.
Yeah, plus, like what Nikhil was saying, the whole ecosystem has to buy into it. Forget the players. Your audiences, your fans are not going to buy into it. Your fans lose shit if you lose one bilateral game.
Dude,
not even talking about series.
Loss to दूर की बात है. Do you think if Virat Kohli gets out playing a reverse lap to Josh Hazelwood first day of a MCG test, what do you think? People are going to comment there. The third day we है तो भी, because we are not used to it. So
But that's
it's
a
a very
Virat
long.
that we're not used to. But tomorrow a new boy comes in
तो
and he
नहीं,
does that with Josh Inglewood.
were you used to root playing the
You
reverse lap?
no, right?
No, that's what I'm saying, right? With Virat, it's a little bit of baggage with the Indian cricketers and the fans and all of that stuff. I'm saying now we see Jaiswal being given
हाँ,
a
तो
test
if a
debut, for
new guy
example.
comes in, okay, if a new guy comes in, tries that in test matches, gets out, you know what would
I
people
know,
say? कि IPL products are not fit to play test cricket, and
hundred percent.
it will come from those voices who don't even follow cricket closely, who would have no
100%.
idea about
But then, but then
Jaiswal's FC record.
for us to appreciate this fearless batting and like ideally strive
See,
for the perfect version of
Indian
cricket.
cricket में ना Indian cricket में there was this line by Yuvraj in an insurance ad कि जब तक बल्ला चल रहा है तब तक ठाठ है, so you could try whatever as long as you get results, सब कुछ अच्छा है. You don't get results, सब कुछ बेकार है. you Rohit Sharma was a good example of this. Everyone had huge hopes coming when Rohit Sharma was made the captain, कि he's come on the back of 5 IPL trophies, etc. Did not win the World T20, faltered at the last line in the World Cup, and now the questions are and swords are out once again. So, see, like I am completely with Nikhil. Like the whole ecosystem has to buy something. Ecosystem right now is is just too hindsight oriented in every philosophy. You can try whichever philosophy. So
Ecosystem right now is getting a player traded to the biggest franchise that there is after the deadline is done. मतलब ट्रेड डेडलाइन डन नहीं हुआ बट रिटेंशन डेडलाइन होने के 1 घंटे के बाद ही अपने को पता चल गया तो देयर इज अ
And
लॉन्ग वे टू गो देयर.
They
one
make
more,
rules, we
one
need
more
to break
point,
them.
guys, just to think about it. If I mean, if we have a lot of the best bowlers in the world, may it be pacers, may it be spinners, why do you need baseball? I mean, it's
you
you have to
don't
think
need them.
about what approach works for you, right?
Yeah, India don't need to do baseball at home. India can just go with their own method
Just
and
don't
still
tamper
win.
with pitches. Trust your players to deliver. That's the only thing
वो
that they
तो
need to do across formats. Even in tests, just buy into Ravi Shastri's philosophy. That's the best thing that came out of Ravi Shastri's mouth ever. And take the pitch out of the equation. Just do it, implement it, and take
See,
this idiotic impact play rule out of the system. Because how will you produce all rounders? That's
correct.
the only two things that Indian cricket needs to do. Rest everything will take care of its own.
Yeah, and see, a lot of this na is always in our sport always going to be result oriented. Okay, they won, so I'm advocating it. Nobody, even people who are following the game, they don't care about the process that is being followed. They just say, okay, they are able to sell the idea to you better, but nobody is happy to tell you the execution of it. They all want you to buy into, Arey, look at the Australian way to play the game. Arey, everybody is playing to the best of their capabilities at every single point of time. Cricket is such a game that if you do one thing wrong, and if on that day that is the one that has very little margin of error, you will look stupid. But
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you or tell you that the process was wrong. See, India won 10 games in a row. Yet that one loss has been spoken like India lost 10 games in a row and came to the final by mistake. People went after every single person in that batting lineup. क्या रोहित खाली 40 मार रहा है, गिल कब मारेगा, कोहली तो खुद के लिए खेलता है, श्रेयस सर को शॉर्ट बॉल खेलना नहीं आता, केएल राहुल को इंटेंट दिखाने नहीं है. But the same guys were scoring 350 for you and chasing
Yeah.
scores comfortably. But the thing is, all we latch on to is the eventual result. Because that is how we are told. Or whenever this new toy comes into the market, see, it's a very harsh example, but Jofra Archer is a very good example of trying to overburn something that's new to your system.
Hmm.
Jofra Archer came, you won the World Cup, everything is Jofra Archer. You poor guy, you out bowled him to ground in the home series. Where is he now? How is it helping your ecosystem? Okay, you change the rules. England change the rules to get him to play for England. तुमने
Yeah.
वर्ल्ड कप जीता, yes, उसके बाद क्या हुआ? It doesn't, you have to think very very long term. All of this is a very short term gap arrangement के play like this will win. It doesn't happen. You'll have a lot of things to go your way and then buy into that process. How many of us remember that Rishabh Pant lap swap that he played against West Indies and got his middle stump uprooted and India lost that game? शायद होप के सेंचुरी वाला गेम था शायद. We are not ready to accept it. तो वो नहीं होगा तो you will need to talk about the process. प्रोसेस में जैसे सोमेश ने बोला, प्रोसेस में मिस्टेक है कि तुम अपने गेम पे नहीं उनके गेम पे ध्यान दे. You want to catch them off guard, but trust your team to get the job done on any kind of surface. that will do the job for your side also.
Yeah, yeah.
And फिर
By
भी
the way,
सारे इस press conference में सब में आके बोलोगे कि we don't look at the opposition, we only look at ourselves.
but no, it's two
And
super points that you make,
outside
man.
now, outside noise doesn't affect us.
That's
Yeah,
why I'm just thinking, like,
guys, I mean, I really have to go and come back.
go on. It's fine. Take a break, and of course, we'll all reconvene in a bit. Even next, Gurkias, if you just want a 5-minute breather, don't worry about it. You guys can go and handle the comments coming through because lots of comments, and I'll definitely like to take this opportunity to interact with them. 63% of your 63 people, if you're watching right now, please like this video and of course tell us what you guys are doing on a Sunday. I want this game to get done before 10 p.m. I don't think that'll happen because United play, and it'll be good to see that anyway. Next, do you want a little breather or are you good?
Yeah, I'll go for 10 seconds when Somesh is back.
Okay, fine,
Not
super, no
not a
worries.
problem. Yeah.
235 in 20 overs. No way Australia giving that in a knockout match, man. We're bilateral barps, don't you know? We love bilateral like competitions. It's
You have
insane.
just given some of the platforms a very good hashtag to try, and I'll not rule them out using it also.
100%, bro. I mean, they are that for the last 10 years or whatever. Literally every bilateral series, they've managed to like nail it. Shreyan Sharma, beg your pardon, saying, start of the tournament, Nasser Hussain had said it correctly that Indian bowlers cannot bat and batters cannot bowl, in this game true in the finals as well.
But you still did not lose the game to that.
Exactly.
You lost the game because you played on a pitch which was not going to
And if
suit
it's
your
just
style of
only
play.
the pitch, if it was a normal road, India would have won it. Hands down would have won it.
You would have still seen a lot more competition, whichever way you want to look at it. See,
Yeah.
knockouts. See, I think we have a lot of bit that, again, we are used to this in terms of hearing that you should be able to nail one particular thing or one particular player as this is the reason for the loss. But in reality, that may not be the case. If you were happy to take a Rohit Sharma 40 every 10 days, you have to take it that day also. That day also, India took 4 risky calls. None of them worked in their favor. Rohit took a risk, did not work out for him. Shreyas Iyer got out early, first time in 9 games. You lost back-to-back wickets. The third wicket fell early. You gave the new ball to Siraj in Shami instead of Siraj. We discussed this so many times that it won't be bad to put Shami with the new ball and help Siraj develop into. But because it does not work, Array, what did you think of Siraj's confidence? It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you are not going to trust Shami on the very big day, तो तुम कब करोगे? तो we are very ये किया हार गए. You can go back and blame 100 things, but you did not lose because of not having people who can bowl or bat. Yes, you can say if you had somebody else instead of Sky, maybe you wouldn't have had to promote Jadeja. Had Jadeja was doing well, it may have not. It may have been different. But Jadeja on that very day also got out to reverse sweep.
Yeah.
वहां पे आपके पास दो अच्छे better player भी होते, even they would have struggled because it was difficult. Australia won it because they adapted to conditions the best. Eventually,
Yeah.
that is what the line
And
is.
even if you look at India's journey in those 10 games, 5 games, which they won chasing, and then the next 5 was, of course, batting first, and which was good to see. Keep your comments coming through. Really, really appreciate all of you all joining us this Sunday evening. Please like this video as well. The first watch along got us about 2K views. We wanted to double up this time, 4K. Tell a friend. I want to see how Steve Smith approaches this particular chase right now of 236. Remember, the top order of India got going. If you're just coming back from somewhere joining us, it'll be good to tell you that 3 of India's 4, top 4 that is, got 50s. Jaiswal, Gaikwad, and Ishan Kishan. And Neuralax going on to say the best thing I love about Dhoni is that the statement he lives by, process is the most important, not results. You guys are doing that, and that is why I love CDC a lot. Thank you so much. Means a lot. And we'll take some more comments as well.
निखिल
But
भाई
just
निखिल भाई वैसे भी हमारे धोनी है. दुनिया का
is true.
सारा क्रिकेट पता है.
That is true. So one sec, 236 is what Australia need to make this 1-1, this 5-match T20 series. And keep your comments coming through. We'll talk about the IPL retentions as well. But Gurkirat, right now,
We did not talk about a few teams. We did not talk about
yeah, I know.
Sunglasses. We
I
did not
wanted to
talk
get
about
back to that whole
Punjab.
chat, but I'm
We did
guessing
not
we'll use
talk.
the second innings for that as well. Arshdeep is going to be opening the attack. But on
Yeah.
the lighter note, what about your dinner scene? Because at some point in time in the second innings, I'll probably go and get some dinner and come back. I want to do things casually. So even you feel free, Gurkirat, if you want to just go to the kitchen, get some chaknas or whatever at home, you can go on. Or you're waiting for a heavier dinner. What's
बीमार
plan?
आदमी है, सूप पीऊंगा या फिर देखो, लेट्स सी.
What's
My actually my cold is not going away. Whenever I'm putting on mute is because I want to sneeze.
what is
So
the
my
remedy that you offer others when they have a cold? Like, can you give yourself a similar remedy?
I actually start having chicken soup regularly because that helps me. Because how my fever starts is I get some irritation in the throat along with the blocked nose. So I know something's developing. Then I take some steam. I have my soup. So the blocked nose goes away. It's replaced by cold. Then the cold stays for a couple of days, and then yeah, then the normalcy resumes.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that cold goes away and it's just like a winter thing. By the way, we did the poll right now, and it's good to see those results coming out that way. I'll just give you
Are
the
you coming to
answer.
Delhi, by the way?
I had a wedding to attend there in next month at some point in time, but I don't know. It's going to be super cold, I'm guessing. Like,
No,
very
no,
cold,
you should definitely come.
100%.
You
But
can ask Akshay. Akshay had a lot of fun.
yeah, he had a lot of fun. He was telling me in terms of the food. Definitely want to go try out some great food, and we are privy to do that in this World Cup as well. Where I probably had the best mutton in my life in Ahmedabad. I know you don't normally kind of think about that and that because Ahmedabad is like proper vegetarian land, but man, they have special kind of mutton that was just absolutely brilliant. See, and even the wedding that I just came back from, some amazing food. So props to all you lovely people who, of course, I did see over the weekend. Going back to the comments right now, Agreem Jain basically saying Paji takes steam, lol, for your
I do
cold.
that. I do that.
And you relax with us and saying Green Tasby and that money for Hardik. How crazy is this move, guys? We spoke about it, you relax earlier, but we'll just, of course, tell you that it is crazy. It is honestly crazy how the game is moving with regards to the players and all of that. And who knows how it really is a trickle effect and a chain effect in all the other teams as well. Narain123 saying of after COVID we had witnessed more pitch discussions in match, and those people who say outside noise doesn't affect should stop experimenting stuff and make outside noise react. Um Agreem going
See,
on to say Paji.
pitch discussions have always been a part of cricket discourse. You cannot have a cricket discourse without discussing pitch. Cricket is just
Yeah,
that sort of a sport.
that is true. By the way, Chachant going on to say some football chat. Oh, we predicted this. I predicted Villa beating Tottenham, which is good. But yeah, this is honestly a community where we talk about food, football, and of course, cricket on cricket.com. Next, what do you feel? How much are Australia losing by? Because do you think they can actually pull off this world record chase? It'll be a world record chase, right?
Yeah, and they can pull it off. The ball is going to come in very very straight lines, and there is a lot of dew. So let's see. As long as we get a good game to top it up with the conversations that we are having, so nothing like it.
But this will definitely be an audition for Arshdeep, even though I want Arshdeep to feature in the World Cup.
Yeah,
So far, he's not started well. What did he do in the first game, by the way?
yeah, he was okay. I think he did bowl, started well, eventually gave a few runs away, but I mean, that's been the story for him, that he's bowled well in patches uh, ever since the last IPL. So again, a lot of wides also. We saw that in the last game. So let's see
Yeah.
how he's able to execute today, because this is what I want to see more of in terms of India defending with the red ball. Because it is not just about getting used to dew, but getting used to your options also. Okay, what are my backup options? Okay, if this is not falling right for me, it will help when there is no dew even more. Because you are having multiple options in your head.
100%. I mean, I'm just thinking how even Prasid will go because again,
Yeah.
it comes down to what Nick was saying earlier, role clarity. I think that should just be given across board, not just T20
Yeah.
players, but even your test players, your ODI players with that format kind of dwindling away and all of that chat. 11 for none, by the way, one over gone. Give this stream some love by liking and subscribe if you guys are new to the cricket.com channel because he did so much fantastic work in the World Cup. It's insane. and we don't stop because cricket doesn't stop. I mean, I was telling my friend earlier at the wedding today, and he was like, "Isn't it tough that you work weekends?" And I'm just like, "But it depends, because if you really love your job, and we all love our jobs, honestly, if we weren't passionate about cricket, there's no chance we'd be here for sure. At least Gurkirat for sure. Gurkirat, I know, is contemplating taking a little breather away from the game. Gurkirat, I mean, are you willing to shed a little bit of light to that, to all your lovely audience watching this? Do you want to carry on in this sport that we all love?
So what happens is, with the sometimes the duration of the game gets you. It's especially if you have other work to manage. So uh, watching, because what I also feel is that uh, I've gotten into this space because I have watched the game very closely, and I feel if I'm not able to watch the game closely, then I should not be really doing cricket analysis professionally, because that is just cheating the audience. And we've had a lot of criticism on this portal itself. I've had a lot of criticism on my own social media, where I felt that a lot of commentators who are watching the game are just not watching enough cricket to make an informed opinion. So if
Correct.
I end up, doing the same thing, then I don't think it's fair on anyone. So just watching the game in its entirety, especially the longer formats, can get a little difficult if you have other things to manage. And I do have other work. So that's why
But
I
did the ODI World Cup actually get to you at one point in time as a fan, as a cricket fan? Be
so
like, what the hell's happening?
No, so for that you can still sustain your enthusiasm, and you can still sustain your effort and interest, because there's context. What sort of sometimes gets you is watching games which really don't have no context at all. For me, what totally got me was the tour of West Indies for the Indian team.
No,
That
but bro,
that
think about it. That's why even while you were growing up in 2002, 2004, that period of Indian cricket was great because it just came in bits and spurts and we loved it. And obviously
Yeah.
T20 wasn't
So
there.
without a
But
doubt, I feel.
right now, generally as a fan, which tournaments do you actually love watching? Your T20 World Cup, ODI World Cup,
So World Cups are
Ashes?
obviously there. World Cups are obviously there. There are a few Test series which you feel will provide you enough contest between the bat and ball.
Which
I
is
think
England away, Australia away.
even South Africa away, you would want to watch those series. India, New
Okay.
Zealand don't play often enough now, especially away. And I think with the time zone that New Zealand has, you would see lesser of those Test matches because they've not been as profitable. And then you want to see, Australia come to India and watch these series, because they make for great viewing. One of the best things that I've watched in the last 15 to 20 years of cricket that I've watched is just see Ashwin and Jadeja operate on pitches in India. And not just on those turners, but even on good batting pitches. Ashwin has been able to run through sides on good batting pitches, even Jadeja for that matter. So you want to watch that as well, but you want to find a balance somewhere. So for me, what I've felt is sometimes difficult is to watch the longer format, because I'm just not able to make that much amount of time. And when that happens, you cannot be always spot on with everything that has happened in the game. And when you are not doing that, then I think you're cheating the audiences. And I feel
So will you? So going
whatever.
forward, will you be like a test match lover, but you won't be an analyst? You'll be a cricket T20 analyst because you'll at least watch the IPL, you'll watch the T20 World Cup. That'll be the route, I'm guessing, right?
I also feel the scope of strategy and analysis is a lot more in T20s, because the short duration of the game brings a lot more value to those tactical decisions. Because in Test matches, you could sort of make a mistake here and there. I'm not talking in terms of selecting the 11, but in terms of your, oh,
Oh, brilliant try from
that was a
Gaikwad. He's
that
got
was good effort. Because in tests you feel eventually the quality will come out to be supreme. Now if you've made decisions such as not playing Ashwin in the WTC final, then obviously God help you. But you the longer duration will allow for the greater quality or better quality to come out on top, which is not always the case in T20s, just because of the duration.
Yeah, I mean T20s for me, I think generally, yeah, I love it, especially the IPL. Who doesn't love it?
Also the
But I
also the timings, like one of the reasons why I've been
oh,
able to
that's
watch
bad.
the
Six.
shot. One
What
of
an
the reasons why
expensive
I've been
overdue.
able to watch the SA20 or the PSL is because the games happen in the evening at around 8 p.m. And that is one of the reasons why I've not been able to follow BBL as closely, because they happen in the afternoon. So if you're
Yeah,
working in
that's a
some of
huge reason for sure. 100%. Only time will tell what kind of cricket you'll follow once you go to Canada, man.
I'm not going to Canada right now.
Bol de bhai, that's the cat out of the bag. Bol de sabko.
Hey, this is as typical and as stereotypical as it can get.
No, just joking. By the way, what a crazy start, which is just saw the Prasid Krishna over gone for 20 runs, 31 for none, 2 overs gone. And Nix, I'll ask you the same question. I was asking a lot of people the same thing because I just wanted to ask generally, right? People our age as well, what they feel about ODI cricket after this World Cup just happened. And people are like, dude, I don't want to see it anymore. I don't know if that would have changed if India won the tournament, but I'm guessing people have just given up. Um, like it's the attention span. Even like some of the people that interviewed outside of like stadiums, fan cams, they were just like 7 hours, really 8 hours, and it's about being there and spending that much time and not getting a paisa vasool thing. That's the main thing. And youngsters won't take anything. Back in the day, even when we used to go to the stadiums in the 90s or whatever, as long as we just go there and watch those players, that's all that matters for us. Right now, they're hoping it's like every game is like pretty much a super over, or they want something crazy to happen in that game, or there should be some crazy players playing in that game. So, where do you think this is going to happen? Where do you think T20 cricket is just completely going to dominate the whole sport?
So I think it is something we discussed in one of the previous watch-alongs or even MNL, that T20 is a thing that you will serve to a new audience. That
Yeah.
you are new to this game, please have T20s. It's a very good starter. Sometimes great, sometimes not so much. Depends on conditions. Now that if they like the starter, you offer them. Now here's the main course, which is slightly more longer. There are various facets to it, but you'll have your own cuisine to pick from. Which one do you like the most? So that's
Yeah.
how you go from T20 to ODIs. And if they survive those two, and they feel that okay, no, now I want something else, so please welcome to the thali or whatever you want to call it. See, this is where everything is derived from. But see, as per your confidence, as your comfort and confidence on that sport, it is giving you something back. Because as you rightly said, a lot of us take up sport watching or consuming as a profession also because it gives us a lot. To me, cricket gives me a lot. Cricket gives me everything that I expect of life, of lessons, of friendships, of memories. So my relation to it is completely different, but that may not be the case for others. But the
Yeah.
thing that you have to understand is everybody will have a different taste. And while you can't satisfy everyone, you just need to cater to everyone. That okay, you have T20s, have T20 World Cup every 2 years, fine, great stuff. And then you have place other things accordingly, because like you said, for ODIs, whenever there is a good match, everybody sits up and watches it. It's not that people will not watch when Australia went 91 for 7. They saw it. It is not when South Africa were in trouble against Netherlands. But how often can you make it happen? So that is something to take care of. And oh, I say
Bold,
wicket. Sorry, I
bold
this
in
yeah.
on
Short.
cue. Brilliant.
About data we can again pull out about short getting out to leg spin. It's just rinse and repeat the exact same dismissal of the previous game. Though, as I
Wow.
just feel for ODI cricket, they just need to sell it well. I think a lot of cricket today is not sold well. It's either sold on the name of two, three people, or it is sold just as rivalry. But there are other things that cricket gives you. But if we don't talk about it, people will not know. So, there was a fan cam where you asked people about three Netherlands players, if I'm not wrong, and they couldn't. And I wouldn't blame it on them. If you don't hear about them, how will they know? For the general casual fan to have that interest, it's you who has to go out and then tell them.
Yeah.
Look out for Paul Van Meekeren. Look out for Ulaf van der Merwe. Did you know you would have seen Ulaf van der Merwe before? Look out for Max O'Dow. Look out for Vikram Singh. This is what it is. It's the responsibility of the media and of the people who are running the game to take these names to people. We just expect people to come in and consume content without giving them something back. You have to give them that incentive in the first place कि भाई आपको कुछ मिलेगा अच्छा सामने.
Yeah, and that will only happen now when you will talk about the Dutch players while previewing a Dutch game show. Oh, but if you're still hung up on talking about the Indian players from the previous day or even a week before. So that cannot happen. I just wanted to come in and say that uh, by the end of the series, Short versus Bishnoi could end up having very similar numbers as Powell versus Bishnoi. Very much possible, given
very much
how.
possible. Correct, correct. And it's also the intent, right? It's not that Short is not looking to take him on. So if he errs, then Bishnoi
Yeah,
will strike.
yeah.
100%. Sorry, I was just panning to my phone over there, looking at all the other IPL attention chat. And boys, there's
And
so much to talk about. But
the
go on.
comment from Ankar is great because recently Soy Maksud got timed out. So it is growing good. We need more of it.
100%. Shakib has started the trend indeed. Abnish, please answer my question about RCB on their retention for you. I spoke about that as well. Let's see how it really unfolds because that 10.75 crores that we'll get back from Hasaranga, that could do us good, but it's about how you use that money to go get two great bowlers. I want a foreign quick and I want some reliable Indian spinner. I know we've retained Karan Sharma, but are you kidding me or what? By the way, all you 46 people watching, just like this video because that's how YouTube works. The algorithm will just propel it forward. Here is that Matthew Short graphic that we were talking about. The Knicks were alluding to against leg spinners in all T20 since 2020. 18 innings, 113 runs against them. And look at that. Balls per dismissal 7.4. So India have done their homework. Bishnoi getting the first one. And only time will tell how much Australia get in the power play. Do you think the game will be won and lost here in the power play? Because India, what 78 for 6 overs. Smith is clearly going to go for it. And I'm guessing, I don't know, man. This is another small little test within a test for Akshar as a power play bowler. Gurkirat, you've seen him more, especially with Delhi as well. Do you like him in the power play? Do you think he's a good T20 bowler in the power play?
See, I'll be honest. I think his bowling has suffered in the last 1.5 year or so, while his batting has improved. So there's that. But and I don't know whether it's been a function of him trying to bowl defensively or trying to do something else. I'm not sure. Last game you felt again that whenever he bowled slightly slower, he got more purchase. Today again he has an opportunity, has a good score behind him for him to try out a couple of things because
Yeah.
now you don't doubt Akshar going economical, but what has really happened is that wickets have dried up, and somewhere you need to find that balance, right? And he's very well capable of giving you that 1 for 28, 1 for 30 kind of a spell, but those 2 for 30 or 2 for 32, 2 for 34, even I'm 3 fours have completely gone out of the window. They've not happened, but even those 2 wickets have not happened, and he's capable of doing it. Just now, this is just my theory. uh, is it because of him not having enough continuity in the white ball setup? I'm not sure. Because in test matches, I definitely felt that he was under bowling, and when you are under bowled with the likes of Ashwin and Jadeja ahead of you, there is bound to be some pressure on you to deliver immediately, because if you will not get wickets in those first 5 or 6 overs, you will not get a longer spell, because the captain already has two very quality spinners to go back to. Could be a combination of a lot of things. Really difficult to pin a finger on, okay, no, this is why it is happening, or this is the XYZ reason for that to happen.
Just on
Indeed.
that one question though, to Paji, do you think it's also a case of okay, is that
Oh,
out?
catch that.
It
Catch
could be
that
out.
is on.
Oh,
What a
great
catch
catch!
that is. What a
Great
catch
catch!
that is. Brilliant from Tilak
It's a
Varma.
Tilak
brilliant
Verma.
catch.
Yeah,
We saw
brilliant catch.
Gaikwad kind of attempt one earlier in this innings when Smith was, of course, a batter then, but I think it's Inglis who will have to
It's
depart.
English.
The
It's English.
Centurion,
Yeah,
the man who, of course, equal Aaron Finch's fastest ever 100 for Australian T20s, goes now. Just 2 runs for him tonight. So Josh Inglis, I think the catch is clean. And Australia have lost their second wicket within the power play, boys. And I think that's the game. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from us. That's all we have. No, but hopefully
yeah.
with the game that he gets over quick, because I've just sat so much today. I say sat, not anything else. because literally even on the way back, it was like a 1 hour drive, and one of my friends has forgotten his suitcase. So that 1 hour has
When
become 1 hour back and forth, and then it's 3 hours in the car, and I'm sitting like 2 hours, 20 minutes right now. So I just want to stretch about and walk about.
yeah,
Honestly, I should
no,
just do that.
It's a clean
yeah,
catch. It's a clean catch.
It's a clean catch.
yeah.
Yeah,
उनको
Nikhil
तिलक
had
लगा
a
देना चाहिए.
question.
Go
Yeah,
on.
I wanted to ask you whether do you think if it, of course, it does play a role in terms of being the fifth bowler or the sixth bowler, but do you think sometimes it makes the person probably look for control more than wickets? Because I asked this in context of Jadeja as well, that a lot of people at times after the conversation in the World Cup, I felt they were all of the opinion that yes, he's giving 45 for one, and I was personally okay with it. Okay, by runs are being kept so that others are able to attack. But when do you feel that you are the one of the five bowlers? We need you to strike more. That 1 for 20 may not be enough. If there are six bowlers, maybe it is enough that you're not giving a lot of runs and you're taking a wicket here and there, which is great. But if you're just one of those five bowlers, can you be again? This is a very open-ended question. Matlab, I don't have any immediate thoughts on it, but wanted to pick your brains.
I think a lot of it will just come down to what the what the match situation is, because sometimes the match situation is such where it's just dire and you need that fifth or sixth bowler to somehow strike. Like my mind goes back to that game in Pune between India and Bangladesh. Now India had not got the wickets in the first 10, so you needed whosoever comes in to strike, and Jadeja struck. So I but yeah, it's a difficult expectation also for from the fifth or sixth bowlers, because I think cricket as a game is very much about your muscle memory. Now, if you've been bowling for 4 5 games for control, then for immediately your body to switch into a different kind of bowling mode, it will take some time. So your muscles will not react straight away. So you could in that attempt you could also struggle for control sometimes. And I think the best example or the classic example of this is when you had Indian pacers going overseas, and sometimes not bowling the ideal length straight away, even if they had it in their mind, but just the body was not responding to it, which is why we have so far many times discussed about the need to play those warm up games.
Correct,
So
correct. Yeah,
it's a very difficult thing to find a balance for, I feel. I feel in that regard Ashwin is able to do it well in T20s.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
depending upon situation,
Yes.
he can turn into a defensive bowler, and he can also bowl slower, try to get wickets, etc., depending upon
Yeah.
how the situation is.
Yeah, because I think come the Caribbean as well, even if you have three spinners, you still want Akshar Patel to be taking at least creating chances, if not always taking those two wickets. You want him to be creating chances. I think so far I haven't seen him create enough chances in the recent times. Is that out? No.
Right.
In terms of beating the bat or creating a mess of sorts. So that's where I think the IPL also will be crucial for Akshar, because I just feel Sai Kishore is breathing down the neck. Somewhere along the line, he will come into the picture. जहाँ पे
But
is
Kishore needs to play IPL games. वो
हाँ
उसको वो मिल नहीं रही.
वही बोल रहा हूँ कि
I rate
somewhere
him.
down the line
I
he will
really
get
rate
those
him.
chances.
Yeah,
Yeah, hundred
I
percent.
really rate him. I think he's a bit like Santner in terms of his
Yeah,
control and speeds. But yeah, it's unfortunate that he's not getting a lot of game time.
I think hopefully this IPL and again very impact player doesn't help. But Sai Kishore in any other side, if not CSK or Gujarat, could really get a lot of games. Uh,
Yeah, because he can
yeah,
bat decently also.
yeah, I mean 100% bat better than some of the batters that we have seen. पर ठीक है दैट्स इट्स इंटरेस्टिंग जब तक इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर है तब तक उसका रोल थोड़ा लिमिटेड ही रहेगा बट समथिंग टू थिंक अबाउट एंड आई स्टिल कांट गेट ओवर माय हेड ओवर ग्रीन टू आरसीबी पता नहीं द एनी टाइम समबडी इज कमेंटिंग अबाउट ग्रीन टू आरसीबी इट्स जस्ट ब्लोइंग माय माइंड के कैसे एग्री कर लिया आपने पर ठीक है अभी कर लिया तो कर लिया एंड मैक्सवेल इज टेकन ऑफ फॉर अ बाउंड्री बढ़िया
Mm.
टुडे इज बैटिंग एट 4 enough. Interesting कि वेड भी नीचे है, but ठीक है, वेड is happy to bat lower down the order, but देखो, good chance for Maxwell to get into the series also.
Yeah, I just want to see, how Smith goes in this series, because last game he tried everything. Let's
Yeah.
see what he does
I
today.
think today also the few, the dinks that he plays, sometimes I find him very very smart for the occasion. क्योंकि he did that in the BBL game also. Okay, he's just getting outside the line and just being able to see the field कि इधर fielder ऊपर है, तो यहाँ पे मेरे को चिप करना है. He's not even looking for six. तो by if he is able to time तो उसको छक्का मिल रहा है, तो वो तो लोड ही नहीं है थोड़ा भी. But he's still able to just chip it well. And today also he did the same thing. Just pick the gap and is able to play the chip game well.
Another thing that I have seen with Akshar now in the last 1.5 hour is that he's become very round armish,
Ah, yes,
very
yes,
round
yes.
armish, and I think,
And yeah,
yeah, short,
six.
and I think that has affected his ability to extract turn, because he's always coming wide of the crease, round armish, trying to fire it into the stumps. तो वहां से हर बारी टर्न मिलेगा ही नहीं, एंड इट इज ऑल्सो हेल्पिंग द बैटर टू सॉर्ट ऑफ एंटिसिपेट अ लिटिल बिट, बिकॉज अगर ये राउंड आर्मिश आ रहा है तो ये ज्यादा टर्न होने नहीं वाली. So then it is easier to sort of prepare yourself for the sweep, because if he's coming closer to the stumps, he'll also get a little more bounce. But बहुत ज़्यादा round armish हो गया. Not sure if there is some technical issue, but he's just become way too round armish.
Yeah, and I think that is something will be in a lot of concern if he does that in the India-England series. क्योंकि वहाँ पे room नहीं होगा.
See, again,
Oh, yeah. Again, see, this is the same question that I asked Gurkrit, I asked you, Somesh, in terms of when does, as a spinner, do you feel that I need to stop going from being economical to the one to creating a lot of chances? और उसमें कितना तुमको risk ले? And now, see, if he's bowled on middle, he could get a wicket,
one,
Oh,
and he has. क्योंकि he line
pulled
change
back.
की अपने
I
pulled
think
किया
this,
length.
this depends on
Length.
the batter that you're bowling to. With Maxwell, I think best way is to always go for wickets, because वो वैसे भी मारेगा. Maxwell is not a player you can stop him. Even if the target is like 2 runs and over, he'll go for sixes.
Also has a lot of shots, मतलब reverse, lap sweeps,
Yeah.
proper sweeps.
But
Yeah,
yeah, today
both
at least,
both Bishnoi and Akshar pulled back the lengths to get
yeah.
Inglis and Maxwell out.
Yeah, and also the field was also great that up tak he didn't have the long on. It is just before this ball that he got the long on in place. Ke bhai, let's have one for the miss it, and which is why immediately it is strange also that Maxwell still went for the shot. But ठीक है, I don't think India is complaining there.
I don't think Maxwell sometimes even pays heed to the field. अभी score ऐसा है कि he knows कि अभी मारना है तो he'll just go for it.
I mean वो तो है ही, but ठीक है, मतलब I don't know how else to put it, because when you take those risks, they are sometimes not bound to come out. हर बार तो आपको मुजीब नहीं मिलेगा जो आपको बहुत अच्छे दिन पे अच्छा कैच छोड़ देगा, तो क्या ही कर सकते हैं उसके बारे में. And yep, Stoinis आ गया. So who's left now? Only Wade, right? And Tim David, भाई sorry, माफ करना. Tim David and Matthew Wade, बढ़िया. चलो. So you, for the first time, I think India's bowled 2 overs of Bishnoi in the power play. I don't see him bowling very often. Fair call to just give 1 over to each pacer. And now they can get back Mukesh if they want to. Okay, do you think they'll go to Arshdeep now, post power play? Interesting time to bowl him also.
Probably,
Stoinis,
I think they'll probably go to Mukesh.
क्योंकि see, if I look out for Stoinis, I want him to face leg spin. But अब 2 overs तो already done है, so I don't think you can go the third one immediately.
आज fifth bowler कौन है?
नहीं, यही बात है ना.
Arshdeep, Akshar, Bishnoi,
Krishna.
Mukesh, and अच्छा yeah, Krishna's there.
या कृष्णा को तो अभी लाते तो प्रेशर में होगा थोड़ा, इसके लिए मैं कृष्णा नहीं बोला कि भाई कृष्णा कुड बी ए ट्रबल देयर. बढ़िया, चलो let's see how he starts. मुकेश भैया
3. So 187 runs in 14 overs. That's a required rate of 12.5.
हाँ 13.6 मतलब अभी एक बॉल के बाद.
नहीं,
But ये
फिर-
मुकेश, I think so far, I think Mukesh has exceeded my expectations at least. I don't know about you two.
See, my worry with Mukesh is that he doesn't go down the route of Natarajan or the current day Arshdeep. I'm never straight away sold on any bowler who has a high Yorker percentage or accuracy, because I feel accuracy will come down at some point of time. So then what do you have when that's coming down? So when it comes to Mukesh, I want to see a few more weapons. I want to see him use the bouncer a lot more. I want to see does he bowl the slower one. So because Yorker, we've seen even Bumrah, when the game is tight, doesn't completely rely on Yorkers. He will mix it up with the slower one or a bouncer. So his Yorker accuracy so far is good, and you really can't complain. But I just want to see a lot more before I get completely sold.
Well done, well done. Speaking on mute, Shabash, Avnish at least realized now.
Oh my god! And you know, my laptop died, and I was like, "What the hell?" I just like a brand new laptop type. But I'm back, and 54 for 3. Maxwell's also gone.
Yeah.
What is this Maxwell, bro? This is Farzi Maxwell.
Anyway, I think we owe it to the few fans of Punjab and SRH to discuss their retentions, please.
100%. Let's talk about SRH. First of all, do you think Lara keeps his job going into the next year? Honest question. Honest question.
Why? Would be very unfair to sack him on the basis of just one season.
I agree.
I would keep him, and I'm a little surprised that they let Brook go, because probably I feel they did not use him correctly, and he's a player for the future. You saw the signs of that in this World Cup itself, that he's worked on his game versus spin. Not yet up to the level that you'd want from a middle order but
I think the only explanation is that he might not even turn up for the IPL.
yeah, that is possible. And all of us, when we were doing the review after the last season, we felt that maybe Markram will not be retained because he could let go of the captaincy, because by the end of the season Markram showed very little to no interest. He said that we were told to try out these players. You could see that he was not the one making calls. So for
Yeah.
them to retain Akram, seems that maybe some patch up or some patchwork has been done.
100%. Ashutosh will talk about LSG, we'll talk about all the other teams as well. But just on SRH Som, Harry Brook's been released. Is that because how much did they spend for Harry
I
Brook,
think
by the way?
14.5 crores
Or
or
okay.
something.
So again, so it's pretty much like why RCB released Hasaranga, right?
I think
to
before we
open
go
up.
ahead, I think Gurkirat has some other commitments and would want to drop off now, so we might as well bid him goodbye in a proper way.
Okay, Baji, take care.
No,
Hopefully
I'm
that-
here, Abhi. I'm here.
Oh,
I was just fixing the net.
yeah.
I'm here.
Oh,
तो डीसी का रिव्यू पाजी से करा लो, अपन सब म्यूट पे जाते हैं.
खबर मिली तो 9:30 तक ये है आज, इसलिए
वो 10 मिनट एक्सटेंशन दे दिया उन्होंने. मालिक ने परमिशन ले ले.
सही है भाई.
मालिक
generally
कौन?
thought-
नहीं, बस थोड़ा
आप ही मालिक हो सर. आपको बोल रहा हूँ.
Oh my god.
No, but DC के बारे में क्या ही बात करें? I don't think there's much to talk about over there. Just that you felt that I
Wait,
just
one
think
second. Gurkirat, before you get into DC, let's just, because we've started SRH, let's just finish SRH.
Yeah, let's
because
do
the
that,
only big talking point I feel is Harry Brook over there. Obviously, they've retained quite a few people of that squad. Like I was feeling, maybe people like Glenn Phillips will definitely be retained. Markram, like you mentioned, definitely be retained. But for them to let go of Akil Hussain, I saw that coming. Adil Rashid, I saw that coming, because like they're going to just be fringe players. Karthik Tyagi, bhai. Why have they released him? He's a really good bet, right? Age-wise, Knicks, do you make any sense of that?
He should just not go to Mumbai. That is my only straight away first concern कि भाई वो मुंबई को उनका जरूरत है. आप उसको डायरेक्ट हाथ में दे दोगे तो फिर हो जाएगा कल्याण सबका. But there are other teams who can target. I said Bangalore as well. Even Chennai could
KKR.
do with Karthik Tyagi, KKR. KKR and RCB तो पूरा bowling lineup ही bare है. मतलब there is nobody there. So
Yeah.
they can definitely get a good Indian prospect to work with for a longer term in that sense. So very very surprised. Maybe they did not see what others saw in him, which is not something that we see for the first time with SRH. Sometimes they just take such calls. So maybe it's
Would
better
you
for
guys have
Karthik.
been, would you guys have been surprised if Umran Malik was in that release list, so, or not really?
Of course, I would have been. ये तो फिर मतलब कुछ sense ही
No,
नहीं बना
because
ना.
I'm asking you that only because, like, what is the rope that give Umran Malik another 2-3 seasons? Even the mega auction, they'll keep him.
At least one more season, and बनता भी
Okay.
है. Why would you? I mean, see, not a lot can come out of releasing good Indian players. Oh, that's
Right. Oh, what a catch that is! What a catch that is! Yes, well,
I'm surprised with Shah Rukh Khan's release too. Although he came at a
Yeah.
high price point, but then again, I mean, if he goes back to the auction, people are gonna bid for him for at least 5-6 crores.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good shot. By the way, that news has, of course, been confirmed. We spoke about it earlier, Prateek, but yep, thanks for confirming as well. I don't know, how does that make me feel as an RCB fan? I'm just like,
But
shit.
again, for what 11 something crores? Not even that. How much does he cost Mumbai? 15.
17.
17.
Oh my god! I mean,
17. They've given to Green. They've given to Green more than what they give Virat. Well done, Avnish. Great,
Wow,
great,
bro.
great
I don't know
franchise to
why,
be.
but bro, but this is some sort of domino effect. यार ये क्या होता है? That's why I feel like the
domino effect
IPL.
मतलब ये क्या तुम खुद से चढ़ के बीच में क्यों आओगे? तुम
See, that is why I said, okay, this is I was laughing, पागल जैसा के it comes like दो जन झगड़ा कर रहे हैं बीच में आते हैं मैं तू लेके जा बैग लेके जा उनको दे मतलब I have no clue. See, he will help him, no doubt about it. But for that money, I don't know.
No
Especially when you
chance.
don't have anybody substantial in the bullion department, it makes it even more ridiculous to have somebody like him.
No, and I think 17 crores for any player right now, with all due respect to all the T20 greats going around, the only kind of money I'd splurge 17 crores on is someone like a Rashid Khan. It was only Rashid Khan, actually. There's no one else who's worth that sort of money in this day
maybe
and age.
Sky.
Maybe Sky as well, but even that's debatable because he's just one department wonder, right?
Not
Like,
really. I mean, he
Yeah.
gives you a lock Indian player who.
because, like, even I'm thinking about Sam Curran, for example, bhai, 18.5 crores to Punjab. At that point in time, I was like, what is this?
See, this is
That's
what.
massive.
See, Punjab has-
ये होता है. People have a lot of money with bang average players to buy, and those
Correct.
bang average players just go on for a very high price point.
Yeah. So let's come back to SRH first. We'll go to RCB also. ठीक है.
Okay, fine. SRH, just to reiterate, I think the core of that team will still remain your youngsters for the next 3-4 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your Abhishek Sharma, your
Yeah,
Abdul
and,
Samad.
it's a good thing that they retained most of the core because their squad was a good one. Where they completely lagged was strategies on the field and some absolute brain fades in terms of submitting the wrong 11 and giving a debut cap, but not bringing in
Look at
the on that.
What about Rahul Tripathi and Mayank Agarwal for you? Mayank, obviously, felt for him last year when he made the move itself. And Rahul Tripathi, maybe just like one poor season.
No, so Rahul Tripathi had one bad season. That can happen to anyone. You have to
Exactly.
stick
Yeah.
with him. With Mayank, it's now been some seasons. Mayank doesn't have a great IPL record. He's still averaging under 25, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
I think that last innings versus Mumbai helped him. And if you look at it, how many uh, how many Indian batters at this point of time do you think are out there who can be better than him? So they feel probably that they feel that maybe he could come around and do well. Uh, so maybe it's just that because see he's shown enough pedigree to be a decent buy to give you he has the pedigree to give you 500 runs at an average of 35 plus and a strike
Agreed.
rate of 140 plus. Like
But
you
by
can
the way,
you can hedge your bets on that. It may or may not happen, but it is not To expect that out of him is not out of the world.
Agreed.
So you can still
By the
understand
way, one
the,
second. I think we all need to stand corrected here because how the hell did we forget Dan Vittori being the new coach for SRH and not Lara? Because I was just like thinking, fuck,
Oh
we're
God,
still with Lara. Yeah, I forgot that.
we didn't
But
forget.
yeah, no, because you guys were also like agreeing with me. I asked you and be like, yeah, it'll be unfair if he gets sacked and stuff.
It
पाजी
is
बोला
unfair. I
मैंने
mean,
बोला
मैं तो उस समय
हाँ
सोच रहा था कि discussion चल क्या रहा है because it has already
हाँ
happened.
Yeah, I was like, at least correct me then. My bad. I apologize for that. But honestly, Dan Vittori, I don't know how much. My initial question to Som as well when we started the watch along, how much would a Ponting have a say? Of okay, Fleming we know, Jayawardene also we know. Andy Plough would love to know how much he would have had a say in this RCB. Cameron Green coming into the scene, for example. Do you think he would have actually had a huge chat with, say, Virat and whoever's required in that RCB boardroom to be like, yeah,
Probably
listen,
he
we
would
need to
have
go for this?
because he was involved with the Australian team right now in the World Cups. He would have seen Cameron Green with in close quarters. So that's
That
there.
much money. That much money.
Yeah, that is the bigger question. That much money because that
my
now
only my only concern there is he's their premier all-rounder right now in test format. If at all he has a niggle,
yeah.
Australia will pull him up. Okay,
Hmm.
आप आ जाओ, आराम करो. I don't know
Yeah.
how it helps RCB's plan. So
And also the
I think
point is this is straight out helping the
yeah,
opposite teams out. Why would you do it in a competition like this? Because for sure, if Cam Green is released in the auction, he's not going for 17 crores.
No chance. Max 4 crores, 5 crores.
no.
नहीं,
10 तो
ज़्यादा
जाएगा, 10 तो जाएगा, 10 तो
Okay,
जाएगा.
fine. 10. By the way, Jugal, if you're a new
And even if it goes for
person,
17
subscribe.
crores, if you know that you have the purse for it right now, you can always go for him in the auction and buy it at the same price. Why help Mumbai Indians out right now? Why give them that money? But then obviously a lot of backroom stuff would have happened that we don't know about.
Greater powers at play. Greater
Yeah.
powers at play. Indeed. Just looking at some of the comment as well. Lots of people asking random questions, which will of course cater to. We haven't spoken about KKR yet. We'll speak about them. We'll speak about LSG, and this game's also fizzling out. 68 for 4.
That question about Mavi, Nagarkoti and Tyagi. Uh, I'm actually worried about Kamlesh Nagarkoti. Uh, he's had he's had so many injuries in the last 4 or 5 years that if he doesn't get a bid this time, I won't be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, because you have had players like Ishan Porel not get a bid, and I think Delhi also releasing Nagarkoti has got to do with his injuries because 2 seasons, 22 and 23, he played one game for Delhi. KKR after 2018 invested. That's a shot. KKR after 2018 invested in both Mavi and Nagarkoti, but how much has Nagarkoti played?
Hmm.
So if Nagarkoti doesn't get a bid, I won't be surprised because see, franchisees are very careful about players who are consistently getting injured. Sometimes due to their bad luck, sometimes due to their own fitnesses. And see, Nagarkoti hasn't had performances of note for anyone to take the punt. Ki nahi, we will keep him. It's been
I
five
think
years since this. It's been 5 years since the talk has been just on potential alone. So
6. Yeah. No, I think that there's one team that might show interest in him, which is his parent franchisee to begin with, because they have that system and I don't know, they don't really care about injuries and all. They feel that they can, have a workaround and sort of make him fit again with their system. Because I think if not for the mega auction, probably he was released before the mega auction itself, right? Or was it even earlier than that?
Yeah, indeed.
Because
I
I
was going.
not
remember
sure of
him,
that.
I think he played the 2020 season. I don't recall what happened in the 2021 season. He played the 2020 season for KKR a couple of games. I
Yeah,
remember that.
he
yeah.
played I think he played the 20. I think he played the 2021 final also.
So that means, yeah, that they had to release him only because of the mega auction thing, and they couldn't buy him
Yeah.
back. So it won't be. I mean, it will be a very KKR thing to do to buy Nagarkoti back.
बढ़िया बढ़िया fair है.
And imagine, I mean, they've invested so much in them. It's well documented with Nagarkoti and Mavi as well. Um, but yeah, I was just going through Harsha Bogle's tweet because he said, "Can't put my finger on a couple of things. I won't be surprised if there's more to follow in this trading window with regards to that whole Hardik Pandya going back to MI thing." And then he tweeted now saying that explains it. Cameron Green in an all cash deal to RCB and Hardik Pandya with the money released to MI. So RCB batting will be Faf, Virat, Green, Patidar, Maxwell, DK, and MIs will be Rohit, Ishan, Sky, Tilak, Hardik, and David. So yeah, I mean, and remember KKR. Speaking of them, they've got Gambhir back, and I don't know how much Gambhir is going to have a say in that auction, and has had a
More than
say
the
so
auction,
far.
the
Oh,
Eden
sure.
pitch.
The
Yeah.
Eden
The
pitch.
Eden pitch is already changed. The Eden pitch
Yeah.
is already changed to become a slow, low burner. So getting ready for Sunil Narain 1 for 12 kind of spells
And
a little.
Gambhir and Shreyas Iyer have batted together, right, for DC, let alone played with each other in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was the very same season, I think, where Gambhir dropped himself and then Shreyas was
This was
made
For
20,
5 matches. 18,
for
2018,
5 matches,
18, yeah, the
2018.
2018.
2018.
KL Rahul.
Last season when the Delhi franchise was Delhi Daredevils.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
But
insane.
Okay, I think
By the way,
that's a good note for us to say goodbye to Gurkit.
goodbye
I
to,
know I
yeah.
said this 10 minutes ago as well, but probably this time.
yeah, Gurkirat, good luck with that chicken
Please take
soup
care.
and take care, man.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good lad, Gurkirat. I don't think he seemed too convinced with the Delhi detentions and all of that, but let's see
He
how
has
they
lost
go
it.
about it.
He doesn't
Yeah,
care.
clearly.
But one sec, in that Delhi retained players list, I've not seen it, but Rishabh Pant was there, right?
Of course.
Obviously.
Right,
क्या
right.
पूछ रहे हो भाई?
Because I don't know when that road to recovery is back with regards to all of that being played out.
Can't,
We'll take
can't please him.
Yeah, we'll take some random questions right now. So bear with me. Jugal going on to say, can someone explain why Indians are made to feel bad if they care about the IPL more than the World Cup? Aussies themselves care about the Aussie football rules, which league sport over anything else.
I
So
don't think this question compares oranges to oranges, right? I mean, Aussie people who care about Aussie rules football are caring for a different sport altogether, whereas IPL and World Cup are part of the same sport.
oh
See,
my
the
god,
point
we
is,
smoked that.
we clearly see. I mean, see, it's okay. It's at the end of the day, it's down to the individual. And see, when it comes to money, everyone has the right to take their own calls and do whatever they feel is best for themselves. Because it's a fair world. I believe in capitalist sort of mindset. But then again, when I see that certain Australian players having the balls to opt out of the IPL to focus on international cricket, while no, while we here just 6 months in a year are focused on things around the IPL, it just makes me a little uncomfortable. But having said that, I mean, it has come. The time has come for us to accept that IPL is here to stay more than international cricket. We can inevitably see the interest and everything around international cricket die down one after the other, but IPL is only going to grow. So it'll take some time, but eventually it'll happen, and this is something that we'll have to buy into.
Yeah,
But I
बिल्कुल. I
don't
think it is.
hear that international cricket is very lopsided, where there is a team, where there are players in a team which actually have that security that they don't want to play for IPL in
Yeah.
the IPL on certain years when they know that priority is international cricket.
Yeah, but I think that can also only happen if you have a very stronger setup and options elsewhere. So I don't think you can compare any other country with India's situation because India's board doesn't allow them to play anywhere else. So
Yeah.
for Indian players, it's even more imperative that they make a very good showing during the IPL. We've already heard enough stories about people who even represented India not being in the best of times after their playing career. So it should not even be a doubt that why are they thinking about the future. All of us do, you, me, everybody does that. So it's
Mm.
just that we are told to think in certain way that we really cannot just accept that you can make calls like that. Now, people will draw parallels to how, say, Hardik is gone for a call where he wants to lead a bigger franchise, is getting
Mm.
a, a bigger paycheck. But a lot of us do switches. A lot of us, switch for better opportunities. But it has this both sides. There is a side from the individual point of view that you will feel fair, which we discussed in the start, and we also discussed the team point of view. Okay, if you lose out on such a player, how does it impact? But it
Yeah.
doesn't make anything right or wrong. It's just an individual call, and teams will have to start living with it कि ऐसा होगा. So what are your precautionary measures to ensure कि भाई आगे ऐसा आपके साथ ना हो?
Hmm. By the way, lots of people are shouting about LSG and their retentions. I mean, I know they've released like Jaydev Unadkat and Karun Nair and players like that, but the bigger question is so like with Langer coming in, they've gone for someone like Padikkal. I think they've wanted a batter in the middle because after Kale and Dickok, they were always trying to push Krunal up and Deepak Hooda's, of course, there.
I mean, they have Badoni, they have Puran, they have Stoinis. I don't see a lot of value add for Particle in that team, especially at the price point. I mean,
Yeah,
at what, close to 8 crore? That's a lot of money. So a
that is
lot
a
of money
lot of
for a
money.
player who will be playing out of position. So
Correct. I mean,
I
and
even
only
look
thought
at
there
Padikkal
is
himself.
bowler to make space again. I don't know. Maybe they know that this season Mohsin Khan is going to be back fit, and Yash Thakur he had a good first season,
yeah
but then we'll never know about anyone until they have a very good second season as well. So a
yeah
lot of question marks, in my opinion, on that move. The only
yeah
thing is, I mean, not even the only thing. They don't even have a spot to fill with an overseas pacer because their three overseas players are locked in Quinton de Kock, Stoinis, and Puran. And then if Markwood is available, he'll play. So I mean, the pace attack is again. I think there's a big gap to fill there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
the
think
the only way it makes sense is if they have taken a call on KL batting in the middle, because that's the only way it makes sense to have DP up top, and you tell him, hey, so basically the team has two drop in anchors. मतलब एक आपका DDP है जो पूरा इनिंग बैटिंग करने का सोचेगा, and if there is a collapse early, you have KL Rahul obviously to save that, because a lot of LSG's problems have come in the middle overs जहाँ पे they've completely gone off the boil or they've gone out of the game. So if they have somebody, see the point here is, can DDP do what KL does up top? Given the past history, maybe yes, because Rahul batted conservatively so that he's able to bat deep. But if DP is the guy who's going to do it, it allows everybody else, whether it is Quinton, Puran, and it also allows them to play the matchups right. कि भाई क्विंटन आउट हो गया तो आपने लेफ्टी भेज दिया. I think it just gives them that flexibility. But again, it's just a very random theory that I think might be the only way to think about it.
Yeah, but I think there were other cheaper ways to solve this. If they want KL in the middle order, maybe Stoinis could have opened. Even they could have opened with Hooda because right now they are forced to
No,
play
but then,
Hooda in
see,
weird
the thing is,
spots.
the potential for DP as a long term prospect is also better, na. But see, again, whatever we've seen of DP, he's not a bad player to even not start. The problem
True,
was he was starting versus spin. So
yeah, but the
if
thing
he's
is, this then again goes against the logic of there being a mega auction. Because if there is a mega auction, I don't think LSG would be able to retain David Padikkal with the number of big name players that they already have in the 11 or in the
but
squad.
if at all we want to think of, say, the people that they want to retain, I can at this point of time only think of two names that they'll want to retain. That is Puran and KL.
no, I think,
Who
but with Justin Lang coming
Why
in,
not?
Stoinis
Why
is
would
there,
you
right?
retain Quinton de Kock?
Or Stoinis.
Stoinis I don't know. Maybe Stoinis का इतना
Even Bishnoi.
हाँ Bishnoi I would, so still three names, but there is room for the fourth one. So again,
100%. By the way, Noodle Hacks with Basant asking, guys, do you think Hazelwood will be someone on their radar? LSG.
जगह
But
नहीं है
that
ना, that
depends
is
if
the
he's
problem.
and
Because they
वही
have
बात है.
Naveen. They have Naveen. Maybe Markwood might not play that much. Let's be
But
fair.
then the point is Hazelwood available for the season? We don't know that yet.
No,
Yeah.
I think we had a comment from Darshan which said that he's expecting a child maybe in the first half of the IPL, so that's why that's the case there. So the
Okay.
pacer के
Fair
लिए
enough.
जगह नहीं है, that's the only problem there.
Chachan saying, just telling you that Oz coach role has hardly been successful in IPL. LSG will not succeed with Langer. Sal Nagdev also making a fantastic point. Green price tag will make sure Will Jacks misses more than half the tournament for RCB unless any if Maxwell Green is injured. And my poll, will Tilak Jaiswal get to bowl? Saying Ankar Biswas. Keep your comments coming through. Real appreciation always showed on the cricket.com watchalongs. Please do give this video a like. I know so many of you guys are watching, but you guys don't like it. It takes 1 second, yeah, honest to God. And we'll, of course,
Yeah.
answer all your questions. Green is saying, what do you guys think about the broadcasting for the India Australia series? Look, now for the next 5 years till 2027, we'll have to just see Geo basically take over. And we've been used to Star, and I know Star have all their gimmicks to make cricket more exciting. But so far, so good. I like the graphics. I don't know about all of you guys
Yeah.
watching, but it's much more clear. And
2-6.
Tim David is going mad. 112 for 4, by the way, 10.5. Knicks, India winning this for sure. But how close can Australia come?
Well, they are coming closer and closer with every 6 which is good. This is what you want to see. But it's something that I'll ask Somesh when he comes back. When will you bowl Tilak? When will you bowl Jaiswal? When will you learn something about them? If
Yeah.
not now, with the required run rate being 14, which which planet or which god are you waiting to bless you? Ke bhai, today is the day that you will bowl them and you will see what is there in store for you. I think just India just lose out on a lot of learnings by just waiting
Correct.
for
And
the
you're right.
series.
In the next 60-20s, given that it's actually against good, high quality opposition, Australia, South Africa, you can test your little, small little checklist that you want. Tilak
Yeah,
bowling,
and you don't
experimenting.
want 4 overs.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying can you bowl them for 4, but give them 2 overs. You know Maxwell and Head can bowl because they have bowled under pressure in the past.
Hmm.
That's where I think India at times is lose out in bilaterals also because again we are too focused on wanting to win over actually gaining a lot of things. So, ठीक है, it's something
I
I'll
agree.
ask so much also. Yeah.
100%. Green is also asking us, do you think any Netherlands players will get auction? I know Gurkira jokingly said Aryan
Yeah.
Dutt to RCB, but I hope one of those guys get like a nod. My best bet would probably be anyone from Netherlands. See, Scott Edwards, as good as he's a player, I don't think he'll necessarily be picked as someone who,
Yeah.
people go for. Maybe you would like to think, even the Pacers, not really
Yeah, I
stand out.
do. Paul Van Meekeren and Logan Van Beek are the two options that come to our mind straight away.
Yeah.
But again, it will be. See, the thing is, you have to see where do what is the thing that you don't get in a lot in the Indian market. Say one of his left arm seam. Okay. Another option is left arm players who have height. So you
Yeah.
have Topley, who is a beneficiary there. Stark, Berendorf. That height helps because you don't have a lot of heighted left arm bowlers to get used to. So Jansen is one of them. तो वैसा ऑप्शन आएगा तो you'll always see them come through, which is why Naveen also came through because he was a very good option towards the end, and that is what people are looking at, and that's a 6. Oh, that's a drop.
Oh, it's put down by
Away.
Tilak. It's all right.
As a
It's all right.
Somesh, I
Both
had a
Tilak and
query.
Ruturaj have dropped catchable chances
Uh,
today.
so, well, I was asking this. Well, I wanted to ask everybody, ke, what do India do to realize that they should try Tilak and Jaiswal now, and not wait for the series to get over and then try them in a random bilateral and then take a call, ke, can they bowl or can they not bowl?
I think
And it's
Isn't
these experiments, man. Essentially, they should try it out, right? So,
this series should be named as friendlies. That is the only way.
oh shot, bhai
oh my
saab.
God.
He's
Till the
bowling
time we
slot there.
start associating them as trophies, cups, no,
Yeah.
yeah, Paytm trophy. I mean, it's not really a trophy. Stop calling it
So,
that. No one cares.
acha. So actually, the problem to India's World Cup loses, we need to call them World Cup ATM trophy.
Yeah, something like that.
No, or call these matches as whatever the sponsor is, friendlies, Paytm friendlies,
Yeah.
5 friendlies with Australia.
Bilaterals only gets exciting is a word for Indian fans nowadays, which is ridiculous. Abbas Kunde has been asking this for a while. Who will captain Australia in the World Cup? Mitch Marsh, maybe. I don't know. Cummins, if
Yeah.
he's there. Imagine if Cummins captains that and he wins it. Then it's perfect time to. I was gonna wear this to the
I
watch.
think Ash has
I was
been
actually gonna wear this.
Ah.
So look at this. It's actually
Ah,
now it's put me in good stead because I'm having a little collection of cricket jerseys, and bro, like he'll go down as one of the finest bowling captains ever.
He
of
should.
course.
Yeah, because I bought this in Chennai, India, Australia, and how time flies. Insane,
Yeah.
insane. Um, by the way, people are asking, saying Geo Cinema's website is trash. It is the first T20. I couldn't really watch it; it was so bad. Is it my view, or do you think KL is one of those who's got the best out of Bishnoi? I mean, could
Hasn't
say
played
that.
too much
Yeah,
under others to take a call so far.
correct. I guess Trot will become an IPL coach. Man, he has larger things with Afghanistan, and hopefully that continues.
Yeah.
He's been brilliant so
Arey,
far.
yeah, Reg, but well played.
No, but firstly,
Uh,
we need to see Trot delivering with a T20 team altogether, right? It's a
Yeah.
different
yeah,
thing to do. In an ODI, he was able to actually simplify it for Afghanistan by
Yeah.
breaking down the targets to 5 and over. That is not something that you can do with a T20 team. It requires something else altogether.
Lot of.
no, true,
Yeah.
100%. By the way, very important question, Shubhankar Sir. Good to see you. Give this video a like. Where will he go? I think he will go.
Where will it
He
go?
nahi head.
He will go to KKR.
Why?
Wow, potentially. They have
Where
Gurbaz
else?
already.
Who are the other
Gurgaon
teams
and
who go
Troy.
for him? Now, obviously, RCB won't go for him.
RCB can't go now. They have Camp Green. Enjoy the green fever all day long.
Imagine Maxi Green and Head. Oh my word.
You can only imagine because not likely to happen. So
Yes, very true. That's like imagining AB coming back to RCB, man. Come on.
So if you go by past record, Delhi can go for head.
ideally, मतलब, anytime you think of an opener, my mind
Yeah.
goes down to Nana Patekar Singh. इस काम के लिए तो वक्त ही वक्त है.
Do you think Ponting will actually be pressing that guy in the auction table and be like, go for him, mate, go for him, higher,
I
higher,
think
higher?
instead of head, I feel they should go for English. I feel
Mm.
he'll solve a lot more problems for them as opposed to another opener. But I really feel he'll be a good fit at Kotla. English, if he gets in, Delhi should really go for English, is what I feel.
Okay. So Mehul Singhani saying Rachin to GT. Imagine Rachin Ravindra being the perfect replacement for Hardik Pandya. Still all rounder, but just gives you complete
भाई
opposite.
नाम
Left.
इंडिया में
I
काउंट ओवरसीज ही होगा.
uh,
But he can
I
fill in
have a
that void
name.
and he can fill in that void.
I have a
PVC.
name. I have a name. Daryl Mitchell.
That's a
Mm.
good name.
I
That's
think
a good
Daryl
name.
Mitchell is a good suit for even Chennai if they want to go down that route.
Even
But
Delhi.
Delhi also, yeah. But I felt Gujarat ke liye it's a very good seamless integration to get a guy at 4 in
But I think Chennai, I mean, his career, imagine his career arc, yaar. I mean, if he ends up in Chennai, he can actually pip Moeen Ali out of that 11.
100%. I
And
Yeah,
actually just
easy.
feel there are two things that just need to happen there for Chennai. कि एक तो अगर शाहरुख खान आ जाए तो nothing like it. I don't know why I've been imagining it since a long time. क्योंकि again he plays a lot of cricket there. A very handy off spinner, which means you don't have to play Moeen Ali also. Thiksin अगर wicket नहीं ले रहा है, you could potentially go for another all rounder in that aspect. So वहाँ पे you still have an option. You could go to a Kodzi there as an option, but you still need one all rounder. तो वो all rounder कौन होगा? We'll see because it has to be a pace bowling all rounder. So that is also something that
Yeah.
makes it interesting.
Pace bowling all rounder is true. Ashutosh
Yeah.
Bajpai contributing again, saying Royals can go for Travis Head because Butler isn't in
नहीं,
good form and he can't open. No chance, no
नहीं,
chance.
यार.
Paras
so
Arora
what,
saying DC will
I
go for
remember
Head and English.
released Daryl Mitchell.
Sorry.
Sorry?
Rajasthan have released Daryl Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, why did they do it? Is the question.
They
Yeah,
did.
I think Darren Mitchell even New Zealand only have used him best now, which is good that eventually they have found a way. Because whenever he came to RR also, I was very happy कि भाई सही बंदे को लेके आया है at a good spot. But the problem is trying to fix the particle bit actually just screwed with them a lot. I felt कि
Yeah.
उसके आने के बाद they just were never sure कि Jaiswal, Padikkal, Butler, Samson. How do we just manage all of them together in a good lineup?
By the way, these two have
100%.
thought that the game is alive. This friendly is alive.
This friendly is alive. 103 from 45, now 102 44. So I don't know what's going to happen. By the way, kind reminder to all you guys watching.
Dhoni, Umesh Yadav, Corey Anderson territory.
Maybe, man. I don't want to hear that name, Corey Anderson, after what he did for RCB. Anyway, a kind reminder to all you guys with regards to the Monday Night Live show tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're going to be talking all things IPL trades. There will be more news, I'm guessing, in the morning as well, and how it all plays out for certain teams, especially RCB and MI, with Hardik coming here, Factor, the
Green.
MI Parton. Green to RCB. Like, it's still not sunk in. I'll definitely want to tweak Akshay's mind about it as well, because Akshay will be absolutely
Please record.
Yeah,
Please
yeah,
record that
100%.
one.
Arijit Ghosh, good to see you. Please subscribe if you're new and like this video about Kotse to KKR. I would take Kotse to RCB. I was saying that earlier.
Yeah.
Dal Mitchell is Munna Bhai of cricket. He is yoga but gets no izzat. Yogya. Wow. And who
Acha,
will be
Munna
the most
Bhaiya.
expensive
who
buy
is-
next?
Who?
Who will it be?
Any Australian all-rounder? Who knows? They are the ones who get the most price. England, if they are not available, the very best option is there then.
In
And no
fact,
Indian is going to be part of that auction. They'll be done by then.
100%. In fact, I'll just take this opportunity to, yes, you got that right, share my screen and show you the exact article written on this. Who are the World Cup stars that could fetch big IPL 2024 contracts? The few names which you guys have already kind of shouted out in the comments, Rachin Ravindra, realistic destinations, we put that there as well. I know it's subjective according to Akash because he's the writer of this article. He's mentioned Travis Head there. There's Omar Zai, which is, of course, a good name. We saw him do brilliantly in the World Cup. Not to forget Dal Mitchell, Nick's just mentioned. Dilshan Madhushankar, who was a fucking revelation for Sri Lanka. Gerald Kotse, and Aryan Dutt, who Cricket mentioned as well. Lots more IPL articles and written content available on cricket.com right now, the website and the app. So please download the app and give some love to our website as well. Lots of people saying Keshav Maharaj highest by no chance. You think so? So
Nahi yaar. I'll be happy if he gets a bid firstly. Highest by the looks a long way away.
How-
Omar Zai
one
should
team-
get.
one team that actually can actually and should actually go for Umar Zai is again KKR, because he's the perfect like for Andre Russell right now if he gets injured or if he's out of form. Because in due course they have to have a transition plan to fill that Russell void. It's not an easy void to fill.
but they tried with Chardul.
See, I feel नहीं मेरे को लगता है ओमर Zai should go to RR. It will help them take care of the new ball bowling also. आपके 2 ओवर पावर प्ले के सॉलो जाएंगे ओमर Zai की स्विंग के साथ. बोल्ट तो अब
But वो
बाहर हो
already
गया.
है ना, प्रसिद्ध है और अब तो
तो
आवेश
प्रसिद्ध
भी
पावर
है.
प्ले नहीं ना यार. प्रसिद्ध
भी है.
आवेश both are not good at power play. So that's where I feel Omar Zai can be very handy. Bolt है नहीं ना, Bolt release ना.
Hmm.
So that's where I feel, and again at 5 or 6.
So
Sorry?
Bolt. I thought McCoy is released. Bolt भी release कर दिया.
Yeah, let me just confirm क्योंकि I read
नहीं भाई.
ये लोग ये पहले out होने दो out.
Oh,
Bishnoi
it's
wicket.
an it's a
Yes.
wicket. Bishnoi gets his third for the night. Brilliant
Player
from
of the
Ravi
match.
Bishnoi. And
नहीं,
boys,
नहीं, I don't think Bolt is released.
Nick's
हाँ
your
पर
thought
ठीक है
on
नहीं
Omar.
भी रिलीज हुआ तो मैं स्टिल फील ओमर Zai को खेल ले सकते हैं with Bolt as a partner could be a good option there और चेन्नई में होता तो अच्छा होता but I don't think it's too late.
Bolt is
You know,
They
Omar
need
Zai can-
hitters.
They can fit
Bolt
well
is
in
not released.
Mumbai as well.
Mumbai nahi yaar. Mumbai always like bigger names. They don't go for people who are new. उनको
उन्होंने
बड़े नाम
Romario
चाहिए.
Shepherd दिया है. I think Umar Zai would make more
Romario
sense.
Shepherd is still a bigger name for them to take as a part to Omar Zai.
By the way, this series, how big is it for all these Australian players like Aaron Hardy, whoever, to just get a gig and make some noise before the auction?
But they'll not
Because-
get a game. Na Hardy got a game last time, but did not get to bowl. So मतलब it's very मतलब बहुत ही कम देखोगे आप उनका. and to make a call basis was that might be very, very difficult.
No, like even a Tanvir Sangha, I know if he won't create headlines by taking 3 fifers or whatever, but like he can maybe make a couple of things similar with that South Africa series.
This is the Sheldon Cottrell syndrome. You remember?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
had that one series just before the auction, and Punjab snaffled him.
You think Holder will be bought by anyone because RR released them as well? Him.
Unlikely. KKR can take him. I will not mind him being there on a 2 pace deck. He could be really handy अगर सही से use किया जाए तो.
Yeah.
तो
What about SRK to KKR?
And maybe even
SRK
LSG.
KKR.
LSG को होल्डर का जरूरत नहीं है ना यार. You already have Stoinis.
They go in a backup. Suppose Stoinis
हाँ,
नहीं खेला.
backup. हाँ, ठीक. That is fair one to take. MI need a spinner, so they'll get somebody very young. So उसका
Imagine Hardik
लफड़ा नहीं.
Pandya KL saying, "Give me my brother," and oh my god.
अरे मेरे
But
किधर
yeah,
और ही चला गया है.
yes. CSK and
Yeah,
MI
but
were the most tested
sometime
team.
down the line, I see it happening. I mean, they would want to play together. Why not?
हाँ, but अभी टाइम में भी नेक्स्ट मेगा ऑक्शन के बाद हो जाएगा. Arshad Khan, yeah, I mean Arshad Khan. These are all good prospects to keep an eye on, but they'll
Oh
have
my
to
God,
have
you
good
know,
games.
United have scored.
Yeah, that's news.
With an oh my god, Garnacho scores with a stunning overhead kick. How have I not seen this? This stupid game needs to get over.
When is Somesh good? Somesh good
What a
question
goal!
for
I
you.
just saw the replay. Sorry, guys, that is an unbelievable goal.
Better than
Wow, bro, it's like Rooney's. I'm not even joking. Wow, that's an incredible goal. Sorry, my bad. But yeah.
Nene Cricknut is asking a very good question that I want Somesh to answer.
Oh,
When is please?
Doesn't he
Next
play
year.
for all the other MI teams apart from Mumbai Indians?
To quote Shah Rukh Khan in Chak De India, and try next year.
Oh my god.
Won't comment anything else on Rashid playing for
Punjab
Mumbai.
Kings will go for bold Dali head, whatever that is. Bro, do you think Stark will be picked up for a lot of money? Imagine Stark. I would take Stark 2 crores. 2 crores.
Stark आएगा ही नहीं भाई.
If he decides to come in. Wasn't there rumors that he wants to play?
This is a question that has been on loop for good 6-7 years now. If he comes,
very tough. Yeah, you'll need very, very long-term assurity from him कि भाई कुछ भी होगा, I will come. So if that is the case, then I'm sure even RCB will not mind taking him. Mumbai will also not mind taking him.
Yeah, 100%. Arjit Ghosh going on to say LSG is being a bit conservative, should let go of one among Purin, De Kock and Mayers with the likes of KL as wicketkeeper, keeping in mind the T20 World Cup 2024. What are they going to do with so many wicketkeeper batters?
but I think the fact that they are wicket keepers is just a matter of chance. That's not by design.
Not by design.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Abilities, they're there. I mean, Puran is a one-of-a-kind player. So forget about Puran. The question is between De Kock and Mayers. That last season actually they did something which teams don't. That despite even when De Kock was available, they kept playing Mayers because he had done well in the initial 2 games. And I think that is where he earns his credit in the bank, and he's still there in the squad. So maybe he'll get one more season. Let's see. And if not,
and he could also bowl. मतलब Mayers को तो भाई he can give you a couple of highlight reels for the entire season with a couple of swinging dismissals. So very much worth the.
Actually, if you think about it, even a player like Mayers would be very good for RCB. A left-handed opener, has shots, can bowl up front. Under lights,
RCB is again becoming like Delhi. Too many openers, too many people who can bat in the top 6, top 4. Sorry.
Yeah, but at least उसमें एक all-rounder तो add हो रहा है ना.
But anyway, I think Green is now going to be partnering Siraj with the new ball. If not him, Maxi. It's already there. No, they're not going to get Vishak first up. 100%. He'll be probably first change for sure. Donovan Ferreira is a good name. I know he was in the RR
RR, yeah.
squad. Everyone will eat their words after Green scores 600 runs next season and take 15 wickets, saying Air Star.
I see he can, of course. It's not that he cannot do it. The only bit is who do you support him with in terms of bowling options for RCB. तो 600 रन पे तो कोई डाउट नहीं कर रहा है सर, और 15 विकेट पे
Bro,
भी कुछ इशू नहीं है.
if Green does half of what Shane Watson did for RR in his peak, I would take it. Take it 100%.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, you can have all rounders do their bits if they have a good support staff, support around them. They will
Yeah.
pull off stuff. But 600 runs are a lot, and he'll have to be fit and be playing all games to be able to do that. So we have to remember there's a T20 World Cup to follow. Every board will be very careful of their probables also. So all of that has to be kept in mind.
You
And
relax,
if-
Ratan.
And if Green
Green,
ends up scoring,
Somesh, come on.
and if Green ends up scoring 600 runs by batting at number 5, तो पता नहीं then तो RCB is gonna have.
No,
to
bro,
answer.
but I think the best way to use Green is one down.
If you say so.
Even that is late. I feel opening ही best उसके लिए. But ठीक है.
Opening. So Faf and Green, then Kohli. But then I want to throw in like a Mahipal Lumro somewhere with a roll where you just go and belt. Don't, like, no fan should be able to slate him. Come there as a left-hander and just belt.
I think that role can come after you are 3 down, not before that. I feel your see, even with CSK, when they do switch it, you still know that top 3 is still very good enough to bat in most of those situations. I think they'll let that Slay get a wicket first.
True.
Yeah,
Out.
it is. Shabash.
Mukesh gets his wicket.
Mukesh Kumar, well done. So yeah, so I was talking के ये आपका जो top 3 है, they should be dynamic enough to be able to bat any situation. And 4, 5 के बाद you can have a Lomro at 5 and 6 and then throw him up if you want to. But you already have Patidar also, who's very, very good versus spin. So you will really have to nail that entry point very, very rightly if you are batting all of them in the top 4. Because see, Green starts at 4 versus spin. I'm really not sure. It could work either ways. I feel getting him in the power play is the best entry point. So maybe it could potentially be role wise that if you give him a role similar to say of a Faf or a Virat, okay, if one of them get out early, you go in early, and otherwise you have your batting order sorted like that. Maybe that is the way it could work out best.
Yeah. So what do you feel? Because Patidar, Maxwell, that's a good jigsaw. I know the only flaw or the downside is that all right-handers, but pretty much
But
how
even,
would you?
even if they're all right-handers, Maxwell, I mean, doesn't really count. Although he is susceptible to slow left arm, but Patidar is decent, even against. I mean, all kinds of sin based on what we saw in that one season, right? I mean, that asterisk still hangs. So you don't really need to force fit Lumror. Instead,
Rawat.
might as well try for someone like Shah Rukh Khan or someone who's actually a proper number 6.
मुझे लगा रावत बोलेगा.
If you put Shah Rukh there, I'm guessing you're not. Where's your wicket keeper then? Because
You have DK.
you put DK at 7.
If you've retained him, might as well play him.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, interesting. Because obviously, like RCB's tail is not the concern; it's the bowling, which really is miserable at times. And yeah, Cricket's saying now RCB has another reason to wear that green jersey. Wild. And yeah, Chachant, that was out of the world. I just saw it and probably going
Yeah, but this needs a screenshot. For the very first time, everything that Suchant has said is ultra positive.
Yeah,
great stuff.
100%. Well done, man. Well done. And that too, he's a Liverpool fan talking about United, so I don't know.
Exactly why. Whatever little I've seen in the past.
Madness. This is something that I was actually chatting with Akshay about, Arjit, whether we should have let Josh Hazelwood go. I think it's more from his side than the management side, but only time will tell, I guess. I've tried for a guy who knows RCB pretty well to come and speak on the Monday Night Live show tomorrow. So join us then. Hopefully we can get some IPL gossips from the inside, and that'll be good to know. But what do you guys want to see in the auction as well? Because that's been confirmed right now, at least 19th December, the Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai. And I think that happens in the second because the second ODI is on the 19th of December, South Africa, India.
Yeah.
And that's happening at 4:30 in the evening compared to the normal 1:30 start. So the auction will happen for a good 5-6 hours. Everyone will only be caring about the auction more than the game itself, for sure. Right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
Nick,
how
sorry.
things go.
What were you saying? I
No,
think
no, that's how. Sorry,
go
I'm
on,
not
go on.
reading that comment. Juchant is back to being Juchant. Okay.
Yeah, Chachan's being Chachant indeed. Prasid Krishna, it's a test for him right now, even though there's nothing to play for. I say that because Australia 87 away and 5 overs left. I don't know why this game can't end faster.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's got a wicket.
Shabash.
He's got a wicket
Shabash.
on right on cue, right on cue. And the
Sean
fact
Abbott
is
has had a forgettable day.
very forgettable
Yeah.
day, bro. Like he's been very expensive also. By the way, do you think Australia actually have more questions answered than India heading into that T20 World Cup?
See,
mean,
basis of the World Cup, I'll say
they
it
know
doesn't
what
matter.
to
Because again, it'll be that bloody Hazelwood, Stark, Cummins, and Zampa. Even in the T20 World Cup, I won't be surprised. Bro.
They will
And
play
either-
nothing. They will play nothing in the lead up. Post the IPL, suddenly 15 people will come. They'll just find a way, win the toss in the right day, read conditions right, do the basics well. Shabash.
Yeah,
Khatam.
because I can already see Aga playing all games, Zampa playing all games. They'll carry maybe Tanvi Sangha as an extra spinner. Stoinis will be there. David, Green, you expect all those guys to come through. Smith and Warner might open, bro. Imagine that.
Let's just
Smith,
hope
I
that like
don't know.
2022 they just get out on the league stage itself. That's our best bet.
2022?
I hope. But I think
T20
Smith's
World Cup.
playing this World Cup, by the way. I think Steve Smith's playing this World Cup for Australia.
T20 World Cup, they were out in the league stage itself. No? That's what I'm saying. That's the best
Acha,
hope.
vaisa.
Ah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
That's
Okay,
there.
okay.
But what are your thoughts about Smith and Warner being their opening pair for the World Cup?
I don't think Smith will open in the World Cup.
Yeah.
They're just giving him a fair run.
And I don't
Because
think
they
Warner
need an
also.
anchor, bro. They can't, of course, bat him lower down at all, I think.
But they don't really have to keep him, right? Even in the last World Cup, they didn't. I think he was part of the squad, but they didn't play him.
Yeah, and I won't be surprised if they open with Maxwell also. If Smith wala part doesn't work out, Maxwell as an opener has worked in the subcontinent in the past, so I will not rule it out as well.
Even
So,
Head is there. He will
so
come back.
Warner
Head to
head,
heavy.
Warner
can't let-
head Marsh, Maxwell.
Warner नहीं होगा. You could potentially have Marsh and Head opening.
Yeah.
Marsh and head.
Yeah,
And
Marsh
English?
Head English, Marsh Head English Maxwell, and Stoinis and Tim David.
Stoinis.
Just the batting order that is there.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. So
And
yeah,
maybe
they're
Wade as the keeper.
but
Potentially English
if
तो है ही नहीं
Cummins,
कभी.
if Cummins
English
plays, if Cummins plays, he's playing only as captain because I think Ellis is a better bowler.
Ellis-
And
Yeah, I think bowling is where I want to see what they do because at this point of time, Ellis is the one option that is like 100% sure कि ये खेलेगा ही. तो Ellis, Zampa और
Stark.
sorry, God bless me. Stark
Bless you.
is a call that I'm keen to see what they do. They have Spencer Johnson also. I'm very keen to see if they give him a go. So he'll be very very important also going into that World Cup.
100%. Play the same World Cup final 11, remove Warner and have Tim David play around with the order, saying noodle hacks with Vasant. I mean, you can
Yeah,
never
I mean,
really
if-
count.
भाई
If Marnus के साथ अगर आप T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीत रहे हो और स्मिथ के साथ
फिर तो बाकी
फिर-
टीम को शर्म आनी चाहिए.
नहीं खेलना ही नहीं चाहिए. दे शुड डायरेक्ट विन दे देना चाहिए. ओपनिंग सेरेमनी पे आके मेडल दे दो और जाओ घर पे.
हम्म.
No, I actually wouldn't be surprised if Australia still
अभी
have
अभी
all
एकदम से
those.
सीएसके फैंस आएंगे कमेंट्स में कि जब थाला बिना बॉलिंग अटैक के आईपीएल जीत सकते हैं तो ये स्मिथ और लवुजन के साथ वर्ल्ड कप क्यों नहीं जीत सकते.
पर थाना बिना बॉलिंग अटैक के आईपीएल ने जीता. ही इज विनिंग ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सम वेरी गुड गट फील प्लानिंग एंड the thing that I like the most, usage of people. It's very rare that you see him in his Chennai reign. You miss a player is not getting the best possible chance to come good. It's most likely the players are played at a position where they are more likely to succeed than fail. So that is what works for them.
That's interesting. By the way, what are your player of the match thoughts, lads? Jaiswal for his knock.
I would not mind going give it to Bishnoi actually.
Yeah.
Took good wickets. Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree.
Bishnu 3 for, and I think we were discussing this as well. Maybe Kuldeep, we should not mix formats. I know like what he did in the World Cup was great, even though the last couple of games we expected more of him. But Bishnoy, if he's just going to be a T20 wrist spinner, keep it with Bishnoy. Don't kind of throw him back in the scene. He should be playing ideally this South Africa series as well and the Afghanistan series, and hopefully has a good IPL. But they should have backup plans.
If he's
Yeah.
dropped Kuldeep, there should be a very good reason for them to do it.
100%.
I think he'll be there in the squad. It's not you can't completely take him out. He'll be there. You can potentially play him if you don't have your Sundar or the other all-rounder ready. So that way, it could really help the side also.
100%. The stumps are flying everywhere,
Yeah.
and the wickets, which is of course going to be celebrated by that crowd, who probably just turned up in not like full capacity, but they've got their money's worth to see the men in blue, and it just makes you think about the rest of the T20s. I think Akshay is going for the last one in Bangalore. So, are you going for that? Would you want to? A friendly
I've
T20.
finished my quota of watching games from the
But yeah.
stadium for 4 years.
But would you go? Would you
Yeah.
go for some? Would you
At
go
least
for a series like this?
bilaterals, so no chance. I can go for a test match, but not
Yeah,
T20.
these is just redundant, man. Like even if they probably give us hospitality tickets, I think twice because it's just like no
हाँ,
big
जा
name.
couple of gin tonics and come back, maybe not even care about it. वहां पर जाके टीवी पे मैच देख लेंगे और gin tonic पी के आ जाएंगे.
For sure. Crick Nerd, by the way, saying Jaiswal is a gem. It doesn't matter to him where he's playing. He just plays his game. Hopefully, he'll be back during his perform days. And that is super important. But what we've seen so far is just brilliant. That even Rinku, even Tilak, all these new guys should definitely be keeping their spots for the World Cup 100%. Chachand going on an ad saying, yes, Bishna should be locked in. He's a game changer. He's Chahal, regen, takes wicket when required. But remember, Chahal, as good as he was for India, never played a T20 World Cup. So I hope he doesn't
Never.
have that
Yeah,
jinx
yeah. Hmm.
for sure. Hopefully, Rahul, Rohit don't walk in ahead of Jaiswal. Don't say it. Don't say. We did a poll early, Sahil, in the Watchalong, and many people didn't want Virat and Rohit to play that World Cup. So, knowledgeable crowd. Not that I'm saying that all the Virat and Rohit fans are not smart, but like let's call it for what it is because they've got their
मतलब फर्क
opportunity.
नहीं पड़ता ना. It's like you said, you are a Virat fan. I'm a Rohit fan, and even vice versa. I mean, I mean, I am a Virat fan as well, but doesn't matter ना. ऐसा नहीं होता ना कि fan हो तो you can't. You'll have to keep emotions out of it.
Yeah, 100%. In any team sport, especially like even if you look at the World Cup, a lot of people are talking about Cristiano Ronaldo's side in that Portugal team where he was costing the team but falling back and all of that. So it happens with different sport and it'll happen with different eras as well. And that's just part and parcel of sport for sure. By the way, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't and like this particular video. We did the watch along for the first T20 and that got us some good reception. And hopefully for the next it's going to be watch along spree in December and this late November because we always take our time, especially if India is playing a T20. We're here. We're going to be doing like watch alongs for the South Africa series and the remainder of the Australia series indeed. 82 runs still required by Australia, and I think it's going to be 2-0. And again, another bilateral series win beckons, guys. When will we ever be able to kind of cross the bloody line? This is just, it hurts me, man. Honestly, it hurts
Yeah, but
me.
I mean, it actually has to come down to a lot of luck as well. Let's be fair, because the mathematical probability we've calculated it from 2013 to now to play so many 9 knockouts and yet be trophyless. I think the probability of that being is less than 1%.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a tweet which had some 3% something, but I did the math. My math says less than 1%. But even if it's 3%, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है.
24 games, one out of the 28 World Cup games, man. And that's just like,
Which is
Next,
why I say
Huh.
when it starts, it will keep happening. You will get
Yeah.
on a roll.
Yeah,
The
I
mean
feel that
reversion
way.
will happen.
We'll get bored. Like I was bored after the 2013 Champions Trophy final. Yeah, ठीक है भाई, अब हो गया.
Ah.
2014, I actually felt good about for Sri Lanka because I was thinking that yeah, these guys deserve one World Cup as well. They have been losing
before they go.
finals
Yeah.
for a very long time, and imagine players like Sangakkara, Jayawardene, Malinga not having a World Cup.
Oh, how's that? No,
Yeah.
that's all out.
Yeah,
We
By
have,
the
we
way,
have lost finals. Sri Lanka were losing finals. 2007,
Yeah.
2009, 2011, 2012. So it's fair.
So
man,
have
that
New
was
Zealand. So have New
tough
Zealand, to be
time for
honest.
yeah, New Zealand as well.
I
By the way,
think
uh,
वही है फाइनल तीन हो गया तो T20
तीन
वाले
हो गए ना हाँ yeah
team.
उनका चलता है उनका they overperform.
that
And they
also I
won
agree.
that World Test Championship, which is ridiculous. Lots of people are just going off about Kishan in the comments. One is this by Sahil Nagdev. And then Nurulak saying Kishan is a mini QDK Mickey of India. My statement on Kishan, do you guys agree? No, yeah. No chance.
No Quinton
QDK.
has
Quinton is
far more.
yeah.
See,
Quinton's
actually,
honestly like,
there is a difference in the style itself. Kishan is more bludgeoner, and Quinton de Kock is more silken touch.
But
He has
Quinton
power
can
as
bludgeon
well.
also
Yeah, he has power, but the point is, he starts off with timing, and then later on, when he has to
Yeah.
wild it. But Kishan, I think from the get go, is more of a basher.
yeah,
Yeah.
true. Another question, lads. I know there is a long time, but Sky Hardik Rinku looking a fix 4-5-6 for y'all.
I think 4 is too low for Sky.
I agree.
So 3, 5 and 6, yeah. 4 nahi. 4
I think
pe I
I
have a
feel
room.
your best batter should be in the top three because you
Yeah.
don't want to be in a position where one of your openers in number three is stuck and then you're not able to utilize your number four, which happens a lot in T20s, by the way.
Yeah, true. That's another
But if
wicket.
Good ball.
you actually go back to the T20 World Cup itself, by the time Sky came in, he had no other option than to just go for it because Rohit and Virat had wasted so many balls, and not to forget KL as well, that there was no option for him to sort of play himself in, which won't be
For
the case if he bats at three.
For sure. Akhil Nair going on to say Sundar and Akshar's batting will be under the scanner. Hope these two will figure it out. So Jaiswal Sky will play the national game without a concern. And Chachand going on to add for the next T20 World Cup, we should make sure we have left-right combination of batters in mind. It matters a lot in T20s because you have to keep attacking. India are like Spain football team from 2008 to 2012. They won everything and then it took them another 12 years to build a good team. Happens, man, for sure.
So good maths. Good maths. 2024 is the when it changes. So well done.
Yeah, same players making mistake again is more hurting. Going in his favorite and hoping them to succeed. At least give chance to new faces. And Arjit goes
I don't.
asking,
I'll not
ah,
agree to that last bit about same players. 2023 में ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ which you have seen in the past. It was not same player making the same mistake. You haven't crossed the line, but this time it wasn't about the same mistake. So it's okay. It will hopefully change.
yeah, okay. And he goes on to say, India don't even have a contingency plan for Hardik. Even bilaterals, no one's tried.
That's
But
the
That I
that is the
agree.
biggest question mark. I mean, अगर वो फिर से वो इस टाइप का कुछ इंजरी हुआ तो T20s में it will be even more bothersome than ODIs.
Yeah.
ODIs में तो you still can get through it, but at T20 में तो it will be a gone case.
oh yeah, for sure. By the way, Rajay Human, we couldn't do the watch along for the World Cup because it was 8 hours. I know all you guys required and requested that. It was just mathematically insane to pull off that many hours doing a watch along. But we'll try to figure out something for all the T20 watch alongs we're here. So cricket.com is your place. Sanjay, good evening to you. He goes on, of course, ask us this, boys. Rohit, Gill, Jaiswal, Rituraj, which do you think have the highest probability of starting in the T20 World Cup? We discussed this, Sanjay, and we were adamantly saying no to Rohit and Gill to some degree. But I think it'll be Gill and Jaiswal there who'll get the nod. Rohit won't play, and Rituraj will be on the bench. Fair? Yeah, I think fair.
Yeah,
That is
possibly.
100%. We didn't speak about the Punjab Kings. By the way, we'll do a whole retention recap on Monday Night Live tomorrow. So do not worry. We'll go in order. I know it's been hodgepodge. We've reacted to the game and we've, of course, taken live comments. So we've no clarity and no structure in terms of how we've broken it down in this one. We apologize. But tomorrow, like I said, Monday Night Live, 8 p.m., we'll do all the teams and we'll try to get a special guest as well who'll tell us how these things work, the mini auctions, all of that. So I've kind of hooked that up pretty nicely. Just wanted to ask you boys, with regards to all the talk about India's batters and stuff like that. If Hardik's going to be missing this series as well, then isn't that too little time to like factor him in, or not
He can
necessarily?
miss. He's like Bumrah. He can miss the next 8 months, but if he's fit for the World Cup, he'll be playing that.
Straight in.
So when he plays for Mumbai in 2024, he's going to be batting at 5. He won't be doing what he's doing for GT, right?
You know,
I'm still laughing.
I could exactly feel how Somesh felt when he heard it. Okay, it hurt. मतलब अलग ही लगा सुन के एकदम.
I can't believe this happened. I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe अगर वो 1% भी मेरे को था ना कि आईपीएल में कुछ देखना है, वो चला गया आफ्टर दिस. मतलब क्या है ये? ठीक है, yeah. So yeah, what was the question? If Hardik plays for Mumbai,
Will he do
Where
the
does he
same
bat?
thing he did for GT?
Yeah. Where does he bat?
I think he'll have to bat at 5. There is no other alternate.
Yeah, no.
He can't, even if he's the captain for Mumbai, he can't come out and bat at 3.
With Green going, it'll be Rohit, Kishan.
Sky 3, Tilak 4, Hardik 5, David 6,
Yeah, David 6. You can't tamper with that batting indeed. For
Romario
sure.
7.
Yeah, Cricket saying, imagine Archer being fully fit before next IPL and come back to Ara. That'll be hilarious.
Romario 7, or maybe Umar Zai 7, Romario 8.
For Mumbai. By the way,
Because see, with Hardik back, they will always go back to that strategy of having 2 overseas pacers, because that is what they've always done when they had that option. So they had 1 all-rounder, 2 pacers, और एक अगर opener होता है तो. I hope here also is fine because he's definitely hurt.
अभी तो वो भी नहीं चाहिए. अभी तो basically their top 5 is now logged as Indian core. And they have David. They can play 1 overseas all-rounder and 2 overseas pacers.
Yeah, exactly. So entire Indian batting lineup, which is, I mean, true to their name, Mumbai Indian, but ठीक है.
which is fantastic indeed. By the way, all you guys watching, hope you guys have liked this because India, another dominant performance. We're just waiting for the second T20 international to wrap up because Australia obviously.
If you think about it, Mumbai can think of buying Hasaranga as well because they have the overseas slot available to fit a low spinner, so to speak. Not sure if it works in Wankhede, but they can actually have him if he's
Away,
price
so it
point.
will definitely work. And
Bro,
उसका-
that'll be sad. And imagine Hasaranga kills it for MI. You won't be surprised.
अब वो
see
तो फिर
those
ऊपर
decks,
कैसे होता है?
वो तो उसको help भी आएगा on that deck. He'll be happy to move away and slap stuff over the offside.
Because
But
Chawla is not a long-term solution, right?
yeah.
That
And
is
see, the
true.
thing is that the lineup is also such that if he's playing for RCB, he knows there he has to strike. When he's playing in Mumbai, he knows he doesn't have to be the guy who strikes. So
Yeah.
the pressure is off him in that sense. So, but I still think the Pacers will decide how far Mumbai go. Because they've had the batting always. Batting मेरे को नहीं लगता batting कभी issue था मुंबई के साथ. It's always been the composition of the bowling attack which was very good for a long period of time. So let's see how that
Because
happens.
even if you think about the overseas pacers thing, if both Bumrah and Madwal are fit and Madwal continues to have a good season, he can follow it up with a good second season as well, then they don't really need an overseas bowler.
Yeah.
don't need
They'll
two.
still need one. हाँ,
One.
एक तो लगेगा. हाँ, correct.
So they can spend it on a spinner. By the way, मैंने बोला कि Chawla is not a long-term solution. पता चल रहा है he goes on to play 5 more years because he's still Kohli's age. In fact, he's younger than Kohli, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So purple Chawla coming up in this edition of IPL.
Yeah.
That is mad.
What
By
if
the
Mumbai
way,
take Harshal Patel, Vinesh?
don't want him. He's given us good moments. He's given us good memories, but I'm done. I'm honestly.
But then
done.
again, I think Lucknow will go for him.
Lucknow,
Yeah,
Lucknow,
all
Chennai,
those
they can all
top
go for him.
places.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
for sure.
Chennai के लिए तो
Sadhya
बहुत
also
बढ़िया होगा.
asking us, Knicks, Darren Mitchell / Michael Bracewell is CSK's Moeen Ali's backup,
Yeah, they can actually. Bracewell would be a very, very, very good ad there.
right? Yeah.
Because good darter as well as per surface, and batting maybe you get a lot of hits from it. So will not be a bad purchase from any sense of imagination. So, and again, the thing that I feel best with Chennai is they don't miss again. Sound crazy, but they use them well. और नहीं यूज रहेगा तो नहीं खिलाएंगे. So hopefully that happens again.
Indeed. By the way, so what did you just have for dinner, man?
Some steak with this mashed potatoes.
Nice, you smashed that. I want to go smash my dinner right now. And I was actually thinking about man of the match, and I know you guys said Bishnoi, and many people are saying Jaiswal. I think Rinku also, bro. That sometimes in T20s, like that 31 knock, Australia could have easily got this and calculated and played and even chased down 200 to be fair. But that 235, they had to go hard, and that's why I think they lost wickets. So that 9 ball 31 for me is my man of the match pick, essentially, for sure.
नहीं, fair है,
Paras
fair.
Ador is saying Tristan Stubbs question mark. Good potential.
Punjab.
I don't know if he'll play
Punjab
that
Kings.
series against India. I think he
Yeah.
should be playing that. I want Brevis to play that series as well.
Yeah, I think Justin Stubbs will be great to have at Punjab also. They have
अरे
let
Brevis
go
भी
of
तो है यार.
Rajapaksa.
What
हाँ,
about
Brevis भी है
Brevis,
वो.
bro? Yeah, what about Brevis for Mumbai?
Hold on to him. Hold on to him. Future Team David replacement.
Bro, Brevis definitely, man.
भाई मेगा ऑक्शन में रिटेन भी नहीं कर पाएंगे वो उसको. इतने
But
players हैं
see,
उनके पास.
if you actually think of it, they could potentially open with Brevis and Kishan whenever Rohit decides to hang up boots.
Hmm.
So you have Brevis and Tim David as two options with the
It
bat.
can be this itself if Hardik is captaining. You
Ah.
never know.
Potentially, yeah, why not? And if they get two bowlers, might as well see it this very season also.
Yeah,
Yep.
man. I mean, Brevis is such a likable cricketer. I know we'll see more of him in all these competitions going ahead, but we still yet to kind of see him really come to fruition. Akhil Nair is saying if MI get Tyagi and Stark, might as well give them the trophy. I really hope other franchises aren't that stupid. I mean, Karthik Tyagi for sure. In Mumbai, like the way Mumbai just
See, that's what I said at the very first instance कि कार्तिक त्यागी should not go to Mumbai. थोड़ा level playing field बाकी सबके लिए भी रखो. नहीं तो तीन ही टीम है जो आपस में खेलती रहेंगी, वैसा हो जाएगा, become like internationals. But again, even if he goes there, I'll be happy for Karthik more क्योंकि it's a good place to get nurtured and then grow into a better bowler. So in that aspect, definitely won't be sad. But अगर आकाश मधवल, बुमराह, कार्तिक त्यागी, that's a very good Indian pace attack to have for your side. And if you couple it with one good left arm, okay, where is at it?
Sure.
One good left arm bowler, maybe Spencer Johnson at Wankhede. It really adds a lot of depth and variety to the attack. Everybody is very, very different in the way they go about it.
हाँ भाई, अरे
Come in.
Spencer तो भाई, there'll be so many eyeballs on him.
Yeah, I think Spencer Johnson will potentially come to Mumbai, but let's see.
What about Cummins, boys? Cummins.
Cummins तो नहीं खेलने वाला है IPL, मुझे
Yeah.
नहीं लगता.
See,
Yo.
Cummins, Green,
Does he
सबका
have
मेरे
an
को एक ही डर
IPL?
होता है.
Does he have an IPL to show? No, right?
KKR का भाई वो 50 मारा था ना यार, फास्टेस्ट 50 मारा था.
No, as in like an IPL trophy, he doesn't, right? 2021 runners-up
No,
medal.
no.
भाई
हाँ.
उसके पास इतना कुछ है ना अभी कि उसको
बस हो
फर्क
गया
नहीं
अभी, क्या है और कितना ट्रॉफी चाहिए यार.
That'll be mad, bro. He has the Ashes,
He has
double
everything
TT,
just
ODI
to
World Cup.
the border Gavaskar trophy.
एंड द चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी, ठीक है.
वो भाई वो काउंट करोगे तो फिर वो you are now being greedy.
अरे कर ही रहे तो सब करना मालिक.
वही बोल रहा हूँ कि he has all the trophies that matters to him.
Matters to him,
हाँ
indeed.
ठीक है. अच्छा एशिया कप तो नहीं बोल सकता वैसे भी. 2014 चैंपियंस, हाँ केकेआर वाला.
But
But I don't
imagine
know
if
तो वो था
Cummins
क्या.
actually
Yeah.
comes to RCB, bhai. That'll just be madness. People in
But
Bangalore
now-
have been losing
ग्रीन,
their head.
मैक्सवेल, कमिंस, बराबर. इसको वापस बैटिंग ही चाहिए, बॉलिंग नहीं चाहिए.
We're more of a fashion team than, bro. Pat Cummins, Faf du Plessis,
हाँ.
Virat Kohli, क्या हो रहा है, भाई? People have been
Again.
losing
True to Mr. Nags content tick.
content thick, indeed. He was a winner of the IPL 2014 with KKR.
Yeah, that's what I said. अभी याद आया मेरे को 2014 केकेआर में था वो.
But did he play a huge part in that? I don't know.
नहीं, अभी मेरे को actually on the top of my head I can't recall, but
What about
Those
Shivam
are-
Mavi to someone like CSK under the guidance of Dhoni?
he can see again him, Nagarkoti, they're all going to be long-term prospects. So whoever takes them, I just hope they take care of them for a longer period of time. I think KKR have tried their best. Hopefully they'll continue to do that.
Yeah, man. I don't know why this game is seemingly dying a slow death right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
And Wade is just taking another single to take it into the final over. And
yeah.
we're wrapping up in like about 5 to 10 minutes anyway. Is Mike Markani release? If so, it's a decent leggy option for RCB, saying Mohammad Arhan. Mike Markani, I don't think it's released. He's
Yeah, I
still
don't know.
with.
कल ये yeah कल
He's,
कल handy रखना पड़ेगा squads ताकि फटक से
yeah,
याद रहे.
yeah. We just need to know because at times, like imagine when IPL becomes 20 team tournament, it'll be just so many players, but that'll be the beauty of it. Maybe it'll be 9 months for sure. By the way, I did share, of course, our particular article on which of the World Cup stars which will fetch big money in the auction. What I would like to share right now as well is our IPL tracker. Just use this opportunity really quickly to show that we do have something called the IPL 2022 2024 beg your pardon, squad tracker. And it has all the news, ins and outs, what you want to know, the purses remaining, all heading up into that auction. Tomorrow, of course, Monday Night Live will talk about all of these kind of things. How Archer was released by MI, Hasaranga being good, saying goodbye by RCB, and of course that massive news: Hardik Pandya going back to Mumbai and all of that.
Oh,
Oh, was that a no ball? Mukesh
yeah, I think
Sharma.
it was dipping and would have hit the stumps. I did not hit it. So that was very good.
Yeah, so essentially you can go check that out on the website and it's available on the app as well. And we'll take all your questions in the Monday Night Live tomorrow. So pop in on that at 8 p.m. And there's nothing even to talk about this game. So don't even expect that in the Monday Night Live tomorrow. We're not talking about India, Australia. We're going to be doing a watch along for the third T20 International. So we'll talk all things there about this series and about different things as well. Lots of other people are saying looking forward to the December months for India, South Africa, and Pakistan, Australia. Pakistan, Australia, of course, 14th December is the first test. It'll be good to know and see how Shan Masood does as captain over there. Oh, he's had a walk.
Oh, shot.
That's huge.
That's a typical Matthew Wade
At
hit
least
over point.
people in Trivandrum are catching balls in the crowd, getting their money's worth. Can Australia crawl up to 200, not 300, but 200 and make it seem like a run fest? Matt, I think all games this series will be 200 plays 220, 220 plays 210. It'll just be high scoring, high scoring, high scoring. We have to check the stats on that as well, for
Yeah,
sure.
most of the venues are such.
But that's the way
Yeah,
T20 is rated anyway.
yeah,
For
Teams
sure.
in the first innings have now started realizing that they have to, sort of target above par because it was
True.
becoming too chase dominant otherwise.
This is an interesting question. So, who will be bought back with the biggest pay cut?
Hardik Pandya.
Hardik only, right? Or no?
क्या पता क्या बोल सकते हैं यार अभी who
Hasaranga?
yeah, still he'll go 8, 7, 8.
Brook?
Who are the teams who need a spinner?
Harry Brook, you said went for 14. So he'll go for what? 4, 5
And
max?
this is my feeling that Harry Brook has been released because he won't be playing this season.
But would you invest in someone like him?
Yeah, of course, why not?
I think, bro, he'll still play the IPL, man. If he's playing the DBL, he's playing the 100. I don't know whether it'll be extinct next year, but he's playing all the other tournaments. IPL, he'll definitely have his eyes set on it. I think Harry Brook might go to KKR, you know.
It could be a good option there as well. A good deck. Agar if it is a good deck to bat, so if not, so then they have a lot of Indian options any which ways to have in the top six now.
Yep, indeed. Right, so the final ball of this second T20 International, and that is music to our ears because honestly, Som, Nix, and me want to kill ourselves with regards to how slow this game is moving, and knowing that United game is going on as well. It's 1-0. At least we're winning that. It's been a good weekend, at least, for sure,
Yeah.
so far. Let me not jinx it because there's still 44 more minutes. But yeah, generally, this game will be
Very well.
remembered for, again, Rinku and the young brigade so far. Surya, 100% record as captain still. And well done, India, because you have won by 44 runs. So kudos to the Indian team. Please like this video just for, of course, Sunday happiness and an Indian win. And many people are, of course, having their say. Max Bojo saying 59% saying Roko, thank you for our service for T20 World Cup. Really, really, yes. That you heard it there first. I mean, everyone has their own thoughts, right? For sure. But guys, let's wrap up proceedings. Really, really appreciate all you guys joining us right now. There was a lot of you guys constantly watching right throughout. We really, really appreciate that. And that's what we want to do with Watchalong, is essentially get you guys involved as much as possible. I'm Avni Shaikdi saying goodbye. So much thank you for your time. And Nikhil Popat, you've been a star. And Gurkirat, of course, hopefully he's watching this and he's doing well as well. Subscribe and like this video, and we'll see you tomorrow. Lots of content coming this week. You'd want to subscribe right now and hit the bell icon, because without us, what will you guys do in life? Cheers.
Cheers.
I mean, you can do lots of other things, but we're a good addition for sure. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.